Cause I had on my agenda, I had police, and then I had nothing, and I was like,
Well, that's good.
I took it off.
When that
Well-
happens.
Did I forget something?
We went live, but I don't know.
Jeez.
It is live?
Turn the
Today,
camera
I
on,
had-
yeah.
Your
So the 5 minutes of nothing.
other officers yesterday, I was feeling good.
I didn't know just hitting the camera, yeah, it could go live.
But I think you need to do that in non-public.
That was another reason for chief being
I
there.
hate coming out at night.
It's supposed to be non-public. Do you remember West Coast? For what? For why we need a chief here.
Nobody told me. Last meeting.
Chairman now. Okay.
Guess we'll find out.
Guess so.
We get those ones that are made specifically for fact document.
Well, problem is that we've got another solo, and that's a killer.
They give you everything in those packets.
Because how many copies of the plans use? I said, I only need one, thank you.
You don't want 20
It looks
triplicate?
like-
They FedExed it overnight.
What they,
And like, do we have to come in? I said, no, just email it or send it, whatever you want.
which isn't much better.
Well, because Richmond, you got away with paying $364 a year for a road agent.
$364 or $364,000?
$364.61 is their stipend for Richmond, for a road agent. That doesn't even make any sense.
Could be a
It's not like
fat,
it's all state roads either, there are town roads.
Yeah, and they're dirt.
fat finger error maybe?
Come in
Be a
Yeah.
very fat finger.
and they
Yeah,
did
Is that maybe a
some
week?
repairs, and it was 2,500, which
It's
was.
just a
our budget
stipend.
last year. So they did all of it.
But like, could that be like per week, per?
be a quarter, so it's whatever. That just, there's no combination of events where that makes sense. It's just,
Well, if it,
that's just bad, and I think you have to discard it because it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, that one, let's see what it would be, let's just check some math, like, it was $1 per week.
Well, that'd be
Yeah.
15,000, 18,000 a year.
It's the new lowest road agent number though.
Yeah, well,
So
then you're
John-
annual compensation.
Sorry,
package.
John.
He said it lowest.
Sorry,
We
John.
want local towns.
We found one lower.
Yep,
Found a comp.
yep.
I said, John, you want to be close?
But I don't know whether he's.
We'd have to reach out to Richmond and be like,
It's
hey,
he's just-
hi.
Your guy want to cut some extra hours?
I was thinking the same thing, but I was thinking, because last time they were rolling the other way.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you go to the town of Orange, population 331, 25 an hour.
Where is Orange, New Hampshire?
I don't know.
That sounds familiar.
I never heard of it either. Orange, Mass.
Or Orange, New Jersey it is.
It is a very small town. Up
On the-
in, it's to the west of Bristol,
You get like a.
just
Sorry.
north, just west of Plymouth.
I
Cannon.
don't know, could you use a whip?
I know where those places are.
So it's
Some days.
small between
days.
off of 4.
Mhm.
I must have driven past that. Well, it's just a party.
Huh?
It's just a party. More people showing up.
Yeah.
How many benches are you going with?
I don't think it's that many.
It's 3.
How are you?
Good for you.
I'm doing well. Good.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Once John gets here,
Quiet.
call me when I was making sure.
Full capacity, nobody else can come in.
I'm sorry, did I sit in your chair?
That's fine.
Okay.
I stood up, take my seat. No, it's fine. I'm gonna sit with you guys. How's that
We'll go ahead
sound?
and call this meeting to order. It is 5 PM. We'll go ahead and start with board member comments. Start with Curtis.
The community dinner is gonna be on the 14th of December from 4 to 6, that's the $5 to-go meal. Roller skating, 6th December at the Troy School, there's gonna be one session starting at 6 o'clock. Bridge of Joy is gonna be on the 7th of December, from 4 to 6 p.m. at the community center. Santa will be doing his yearly trip visit. And breakfast with Santa on Saturday morning, December 7th, from 7 to 10. So Santa will be there in the morning, and he'll be there from 4 to 6 in the afternoon. So that's all I got.
Dick?
Since we have a nice group here, the question is, well, a nice distribution of interests. The question I have for everybody is, do we want colored lights or white lights on the new town Christmas tree? Anybody?
White.
White.
White? All white?
One blue.
I mean, last time we did
You know,
colors,
it's-
we had
it's-
It's always
I'm
one.
a colored light guy, but white it is then, fine.
But the people that complained about the light, the white lights in the common,
Yeah.
We're
That's-
gonna-
probably gonna complain about
Yeah.
the white light, that's gonna make it
Well, they're not
brighter.
here.
Yeah, they're not here. So we're all on
Yeah,
white
yeah.
lights?
Colors.
Did you have a question?
No, I was waiting.
Oh, you're waiting.
They have white lights year round.
White light.
Oh,
Okay, and on the gazebo, we're gonna do lights on that again? What do you think, Dave?
Can if you want.
Okay. So then who's in charge of putting them on? Me and Dave again?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You guys wanna get out there
Shake
with
your head,
ladders?
yes.
Hey, right now, look, the tree is gonna be nice and easy. It's only,
I'm aware of that. I look at the tree and go, you know, that's not that bad yet. Give it, give it 10 years. Okay, white lights it is. That was my big question.
So we solved all the problems, we can go now?
As far as I'm concerned, we can all go right now.
it's one of those weeks.
Let's hope the whole meeting goes that well. All right, that's it. That was my only thing.
All right, I'd like to thank you guys for covering for me while I was out of town. There are some other questions, but there's a couple for non-public questions and so on that people sent. We'll cover this stuff, the other stuff that's in the packet under 2 as well. Let's see. Go ahead and start with public comment. Anyone public want to comment?
I do, but I'll offer someone else first if they wanna go first. Basically, I spent some time watching the last meeting I was here, and I just wanted to make some corrections, and kind of put this in the record, so, I didn't expect this many people to be here, but, I'm glad I wrote it, but I think we're pretty fortunate that we have 5 individuals willing and able to take on the task of correcting a problem that we didn't create down at the water and sewer department. The commission continues to keep its head down and move forward despite lack of support in obvious areas. Several things were said in the last meeting that, you know, I'm gonna correct a couple of them while I'm here, so. You know, I think there was a resident here asking questions about the mill project, and it turned into a conversation about the water and sewer department again. So, you know, I wanted the public to be clear that, you know, Mountain View Mills is suing the town of Troy, not the water and sewer department. We've commissioned petition to be added to that case. And then, you know, the issue around the tax payment for the town of Jaffrey, I think you got some information on it today. But Attorney Hawkins had issued a letter in March that he outlined the definitions of RSA 79, A:2, assuming it's Article 9, that the property doesn't meet eligibility for taxation at current use rates. However, he didn't address RSA 7211, and actually shows it in the letter, which states that we are still responsible for payment in lieu of taxes. I think what the commission intends to determine is that, you know, if and what we are paying to the town of Jaffrey is accurate, and if they're just using a tax bill as a means of collection for that. Payments have been made to the town of Jaffrey for almost 50 years on that piece of property. So to suggest that we just stop paying it, I think is incredibly irresponsible and would probably lead to property liens and more legal expenses. Just want to, you know, put it out there that these are not the only instances of false information being shared by residents and members of this board, and I'm just politely requesting that the members be mindful of the accuracy of what it discusses.
Well, so I have a question on that. I read the letters from 1977 back and forth today, and I read the, is it RSA 721?
7211 and 7211A.
So, and so I get Jaffrey's position on those was the first regional school district in the state. And there were no rules on it. So the only rules concerning, the only thing that regulated Monadnock was whatever Monadnock agreed to, whatever they made up. And then later, the state created rules that governed regional school districts. And so Monadnock had to opt in to abide by those rules concerning the management and operation of a regional school district. Fine, we did that. So that's how Monadnock, we now operate like everybody else. So my question is, where the Troy Water and Sewer Commission was created by an act of the legislature and specifically had an exception to paying any of these fees, is it, are we just saying, well, did we ever agree to say, well, we're gonna waive that, we're gonna go ahead and pay? I saw letters from Jaffrey, but I didn't see anything going back our way.
Again, this is the point in hiring the attorney. And,
Sure.
And the fact that, you know, it suggested that we just stop paying in here was a little ridiculous. I think this is a better conversation, but
Well, I'm happy to have that conversation too, but I think that's a different part.
I guess the first legislation is around paying taxes, right?
Yeah?
It specifically mentions taxes, and then
So.
the next one is talking about a payment in lieu of taxes, like a pilot for the property, less its buildings and all that. Like
Right.
it can't be taxed on structures and that sort of thing, and it's used like that. So at some point, Jaffrey or us, Jaffrey felt it was necessary for us to pay it, and apparently, you know,
Said,
I
"Oh,
wasn't,
okay."
I was close to being alive, but I wasn't alive yet 50
Yeah.
years ago, but, so, I mean, that's our intent, is to figure that out.
Okay, I mean, so you're working on it. You know, I would make the case, or I would politely disagree with you. I don't think it's, I don't think there's any downside to not paying the taxes. What are they gonna do?
Lien the property.
Okay, so what? I think you're going to have their attention more. It's not really gonna affect our credit, it's not gonna affect.
I guess
our
we're
ability
still gonna have to
business.
litigate this if they decide that we, you know, and then what? Now we're paying that fee besides, and we're paying late fees on top of it.
Well, only if you
possible
lose.
lien.
I mean, you need.
I don't understand this method of thought here. We can just pay an attorney and have this solved, or we can make guesses.
Well, I don't say you shouldn't have an attorney, you're
Well,
indicating you
that's
do.
Apparently what it sounded like to me and a lot of other people in the last meeting.
But that I didn't think you should hire an attorney?
That we were wasting money on legal fees for something that we should just stop paying. Was the gist of the conversation.
And let them come after us was the exact terms you used.
Oh, it could be, I
Yeah,
mean,
so,
I don't know that's, I understood that you had an attorney.
We do.
You were
So this conversation started around some questions around the mill and somehow led to a tax conversation, which I'm asking that we keep things relevant and we get some support from up here and not stuff like that.
Well, I would also disagree with you in that, personally, I do not believe that the problems down there are problems that the current board created. And I don't think I've ever said that to
No, at
anybody.
the end of that statement and that talk about that, you did come back at the end and say that we're all doing the best we can with the problem.
Well, you are, and I don't see how anybody could possibly blame the current board for what's gone on down there.
Guys,
So, that's,
I got something to echo
Sure,
along with that.
yeah.
So I think what the commission is disappointed in is in that conversation, I think TJ said that we've contacted council twice, Hoppick twice, and both times he's come back and said we don't have to pay it, and we continue to pay it. TJ also said that when he first got to the Water Sewer Commission, he brought all the necessary RSAs to prove that we don't have to pay this, and we haven't taken any action. And then Curtis jumped in, and it was a pile-on. Curtis jumped in and said, wow, it's been $36,000 they paid year to date once they pay this bill. And you were saying, I don't know why they're wasting all that. I mean, it was a absolute shit on the Water Sewer Commission. So that is the opposite of support and full of BS, frankly. The TJ's comments alone were inaccurate. The Hoppick bill, or the Hoppick opinion, there was only one, and it said that you have to pay. So that's all we're getting at. We're trying. We talked about like putting together a public works director to all work together, and we were all on this same page like 2 years ago, and we have drifted so far away from that. I can't even imagine a scenario where that's ever going to work and these boards are going to work together if we continue having this.
I think it was only a year ago, actually.
Whatever. So it took less time to absolutely fall apart. So it's, we're looking for some support or at least whatever, have the right information when you're talking about the Water Sewer Commission. That's all we're asking for. The public's listening, and they've already got a pretty slighted opinion about the Water Sewer Commission, and if the most powerful board in town is issuing more misinformation, it doesn't do anybody any good. It's certainly going to make your lives more difficult down the road too. The less we get along, the less it works out for everyone. So
I think we all recognize that.
So I have a question for you. You've read the Title V Taxation, Chapter 72, Oliver, right?
yeah.
7211 2B. Can't be longer than 5 years. When was the last time we had this checked with them? It was more than 5 years ago.
Had what checked?
Well, that's no agreement can be longer than 5 years.
Right.
So when was the last time we had it checked with them? When was the last time the agreement was put in effect? Because if it was 1977, as you stated, half of us weren't even born yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that right where it's at. I'm not gonna go any further. And I was looking around there, I'm like, crap. Okay, maybe it is. So that would be the first part I would start with. Was when was the last time the agreement was made?
We know what to go after for this to do it. That's not the point of the conversation.
We have a very comprehensive back and forth with our attorney at this point. He has absolutely everything he needs. I actually spoke to him today about it. I passed along some information. Jeremy had done a little bit of homework on his end, and I filled him in on some missing pieces that he had. And he has everything that he needs to have in order to determine whether or not we're going to have to pay. And the first thing we have to figure out is if the 1915 legislation is the prevailing law or 7211 is the prevailing law. This has been gone after 4 different times over the course since 1977 until now. And each time it's been very little bit of documentation to support what is going on, but it's been the result that the Jaffrey maintains that you owe us this money. So
I'm sorry.
So the long and the short of it is we're going to put this thing to bed once and for all now. It happened when I first got on this Water Sewer Commission. It was underway. That was being worked on with Hoppick, and it was we were under the impression at that time that we had to pay for this, and it was like there's got to be more to the story, and we need to circle back to it. And as you know, a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
So
I see in the paperwork I got today, I only see letters from Jaffrey to us.
Yep.
I don't see anything from us going. Is there nothing?
There's some more in the future dates. It's funny because there's like there'd be like a letter from us to Jaffrey,
Right.
and then no response. And the letter from us to Jaffrey was us asking, hey, what's going on with this?
Right.
And that was 90 something.
Yeah.
And then there was some actual back and forth in the 2010 and 2011 back-to-back years. And again, Jaffrey just maintained that you have to pay this bill. This is a pilot you have to pay. The DRA sets the rate and you pay it. So That's, and should have been more fight on the water sewer side, no question.
Yeah.
And we're now gonna put up that fight,
Yeah.
so.
It's so weird, it's labeled property taxes, it says you don't have to pay property taxes, but you have to pay this. It's like-
Well, it's a specific carve out for waterworks.
Yeah.
A specific carve out for, should you have a property that you're using to produce water for the town. That it is very specific to us, that this pilot is required, so.
Right, and then how do they collect that? Do they just send you to a tax bill with the pilot as the dollar amount? Or what?
Was the valuation arrived at?
Right, well, the valuation is based on a 5-year look back on average land in the area, and applied to the amount of land that you're actually paying on. So we have 100 and something acres over there that we're paying on. And one of the first questions is how much of it is our equipment actually sitting on? Because there's like 3 parcels there.
Right.
Jeffrey believes that we owe it, and it doesn't matter what our attorney's gonna say, we're gonna have to have a judge render a decision on it.
That's what I would expect.
Yep, and we would rather not pay any interest on any taxes that we accrue between now and then. And we'll just get an abatement when the time is right, so. Been fully informed.
All right, any other public comment?
Is Alan here?
Can you put this, into the meeting minutes?
Yeah.
Is
Said
it
he was
good?
coming.
Alan?
I was gonna ask him.
Alan's the other.
Oh, Alan, okay, I was gonna say Alan was up there.
Yeah. He said he was coming down last night.
That's not like Alan too.
He may think we were starting at 6.
Oh.
If I had to guess. No, it's not.
All right, message him. Somebody wants to,
Yeah,
message him. We'll go ahead and get, Amanda here then.
yeah. Kim, could you, the young woman in there, could you ask her to come in?
They're looking for you. You're up. She's almost ready.
Okay.
She'll be right there.
Billy Daniels is on his way down.
Are you on the agenda? Hi.
So here's what I'm gonna do. It's not much this time. It's just an overview of, projects I've completed as well as, some new findings, which really wasn't much. Since last time I met with you guys, I've completed merging the planning board files with the selectmen files to the best of my ability. While doing so, while merging the files, I found a checklist for the planning board files on how to organize them from like, I couldn't tell you, it wasn't dated, but it was probably anywhere between the mid-80s or mid-90s. That's included, I've updated it and made some suggestions to the checklist, but otherwise it covers everything that's needed as far as I can tell so far. I split the A to Z files up by departments and who's responsible for the records in the record series. It was a lot of overlap. There was a lot of town clerk documents mixed in with select board documents. So I separated them out and then they're separated by series. So because.
What is a series?
So like the selectmen, since you oversee things like the highway department, I believe, and so there's little files on that. So now within that, there's like a section for the highway department in the selectmen's files. Instead of it being, when it was all A to Z, it would be like, highway would be under H, and then if they're, say, Prospect Street, that would be under P instead of all together. basically every piece of paper was its own record and its own series, and nothing really made any
Sense.
cohesive sense. Yeah, it was all mixed in. I was able to consolidate the planning board files down. Now there's a total of, let's see, I think there's 10 in use, and then there's one for the Dollar General project. I mean, there's so much stuff associated with that one project, it gets its own drawer.
Okay.
Like, that just gives you an idea of how much we can really get rid of.
Yeah.
So, I've continued indexing and researching what documents have retention requirements. That's ongoing because I come across something new almost every day, especially now that I'm in the office more. The Conservation Commission and zoning boards now have their own drawer out back as well. And this is just kind of like to get everything together in one spot so we can divvy it up into, we can throw this out, or we can put this in permanent storage, or this is active filing. So, really not much has changed since last time, since there's not much I can really do until we have a records committee making the decisions on what can stay and what can go, other than what's already available at the state level, which is really vague. So, I made some recommendations. A few of them don't require the committee. So no retention policy required recommendations include locking the planning board files up.
So, is that the planning board files, or you're talking about a regular?
Like the property file that has like the Mylar, the site plan review, the site plan, whatever else is
Would the
associated.
Mylars be in there?
The Mylars are sometimes in there, they're sometimes in the actual planning board file, sometimes they're in both places.
I believe it.
It's kind of what we're discussing, is they're stamped in multiple places.
So
Yes.
But the goal is to put them, make a uniform
Yes,
methodology.
right. Ideally, because there's some extra map cabinets, we could maybe like consolidate those with the planning board files so they can have cabinets for their Mylars there.
That makes
Cause
sense.
there's also a lot of like loose maps on top of their cabinets that I
Yes.
haven't really, they're tidied like together, but that's the extent of it.
Yeah, they're tidied up into a pile, and if you wanna
Yeah.
find one, you flip through, you
That's
find
right,
the
yeah.
Mylar you
They're not
want.
even a pile, it's boxes, cause they were all rolled up in tubes.
Oh, okay.
Which they do make tube storage as well, that you can label. I've looked at a few options and they're all really like comparable in price.
So,
Even that compares to, you know our hanging map thing in the
Yeah,
office?
yeah.
A metal one of those costs the same as one of those, which I found very strange,
yeah,
but
there's no way to make that secure.
exactly. Yeah, I know, I'm just trying to give you an idea of like, there's a few different options and they all cost about the same. But as for securing them, unless we could get a locking one, I'm not sure. But I mean mostly like the file cabinets in the planning
Yeah.
board files. Like, or where, do you think we'd be able to use one of the locks for the file cabinet that like run down the side or
Yeah,
something like
Well, I
that?
think you could, I think you could run a bar, you'd have to make there's a way to do it, I've
Yeah.
seen it done.
Oh, that's right.
Correct, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
through the handles and such,
Yeah,
yeah.
you won't even have to do the handles, just one single cut all the way down the
Yeah.
middle.
Right.
Drop it straight through, and it's got all the support right there with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys, that's above my pay grade.
yeah,
Okay.
So,
alright,
yeah, a lot of the same stuff, replacing the broken file, not the file cabinets, but like hanging files. Use consistent labeling and maybe come up with like a standardized label for the forms, or files rather, because right now it's just like, if they're labeled, it's whatever anybody felt like labeling it. It could be owner name, it could be map and lot, it could be like the project number.
well, we talked about that, we wanted to get to, and about having a consistent,
Yes,
when things come in, putting them, writing them all down, essentially registering everything as it comes in,
yes,
so that there's it's trackable by some uniform number and it goes
That's right.
to the property file, so that would solve that problem.
Mhm.
Going forward, it's probably not worth trying to solve.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything really going backwards. This is
Yeah.
all going forwards.
Yeah.
Going backwards, it's just kind of like it will organize it to the best we can and get all the documents together. So much of the stuff out in that room is just inactive. It doesn't need to be touched, it can get stored permanently somewhere or
thrown out.
destroyed. I would say I'm not good at estimating that sort of thing, but I would say maybe about half, maybe more have, met or exceeded the, retention requirements needed, if they even exist. Other ones just don't even need to be saved, other things are in, like, just scattered in there and they should be saved in a vault, a safe, something, in case any, like, old records, the deeds to the mill or whatever.
What's the most efficient way to collect the things that should be saved?
Yes.
I'll reach out to the police department and see if they've got anyone they want to put on.
Yeah, that was in one of the recommendations I read as well, was.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the face behind you.
Sure.
Technically, we're the assessors.
That's what I thought, so
Yeah.
basically it would be,
So that's the overlap there, is assessor
Yeah.
/ selectman, I guess I should have put.
yeah, so I mean, in the first group, there's 3 people.
Yeah, it's not huge.
That's why I was like, well, I'd like to get a couple more people out there.
Yes.
So I'll
Yeah.
reach out to the zoning board, planning board, cemetery commission, reach out
Those
to
are
all
what
of them.
they typically consist of, and then I also recommend, the police department, maybe planning and zoning, and,
Do
the
we still
cemetery.
have police files down here from the
There are
70s?
some, those have been, kind of set aside.
Yeah.
In their own little banker's box, so they can either get returned or they can stay filed here. That's something that would need to be decided on.
What do you think?
I'll take a look at them, I mean, I know for 20 years, there's nothing, gotta be further back than 20 years. And that's
Yeah, a
all
lot
that
of
is,
it
so-
does go about 20 years.
So if it's a
I think-
50-year-old police report, you don't need it.
No.
There are some of those, yeah, there's a
You know,
few.
take a look at it, but if it was a homicide or something, yeah, but I
Mhm.
don't think we had any of those.
Mm-mm.
If anybody's found yet, anyway.
Yeah.
They moved.
And yeah, so, once the records committee is formed, basically they can get the ball rolling, finish inventorying and indexing. I'm happy to work with the committee or be part of it or whatever you'd like me to do with it.
We'll most likely put you on as a consultant,
Okay,
because that's kind of, I think, the only legal step we can do.
yeah, because I'm not a resident.
Yeah.
That really screws everything up.
It
I'm gonna be
hurts a
like a
lot.
part-time
When are you
resident.
moving to town?
I'll rent your room.
They have a
Probably
very
cheaper.
nice house.
Yeah.
It is, you know.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
got a lot of extra rooms.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Should we talk to her about this while she's here?
Sure.
Alright, yeah, so that basically sums it up, basically not a lot's changed, yeah, and then the last page is, so the current order of filing is how I found it. And then my suggested is down below, I didn't make any suggestions for the zoning board, cause they actually had a more comprehensive list than the planning board did, so. That's that.
Alright.
And it was work, someplace in here it seems to be working.
Yeah,
Always a benchmark.
Your next project, Dick would like to discuss right now with you.
my next project, okay, sure,
So,
yes,
flow chart. You wanna just run everybody through this?
sure.
Do you need one?
Yeah, I do, cause
There you go. So how'd you figure this out?
well, I had a little help, so, but, it's just, I'm not sure what to say about it, other than it's a flow chart regarding, how permits are handled.
So take me through.
Okay, so
I
you,
come in here and I wanna build a garage.
yes, do you need a driveway?
I do need a driveway and
Okay,
my lot is, I wanna put it 10 feet from my property line.
wouldn't, in that case, you'd need like a special exception.
Well, I'm asking, you tell me, I'm the customer,
I know.
I don't know, all I know is this is where I'm gonna put my garage.
Sure.
And
I actually don't
I
know
walk into
the
this
kind-
building, I got my check for $200. Now, why do I have to go through all this bullshit?
Sure. I actually don't know all the different kinds of permits and what they do, so I wouldn't be the person to ask. I'd
Well,
defer
what's
you.
the flow? Let's
Sure.
assume.
So, all right. So say you
Let's
need a
assume we know
driveway.
that is therefore non-conforming.
Yeah. So you're gonna need a driveway permit, so you'd fill that out and that gets returned to the selectmen and the road agent who then review it, and I'm assuming they either approve or deny.
Yeah.
Regarding, you know, it's based on a bunch of stuff, visibility around a curve, hills, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
So it goes, the first thing that's gonna happen is the request for driveway cut's gonna go to the road agent.
Yes.
Okay, now what about my garage? Now that I got my driveway?
Well, you're gonna need a building permit for your garage.
Correct.
So, since that's residential, that would go get approved or denied by the, select board.
So the selectmen are gonna deny it because it's too close to the lot line.
Right.
Now what happens?
At that point, would you apply for a conditional use permit? Is that, no, I'm not sure.
Board,
You apply for the ZBA.
Do it with
Oh,
the
okay,
ZBA.
so that's when you would
Does
go
it-
back to the ZBA, that's not on here, we need to circle back to
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
So if they deny it, you need to go to the ZBA and meet with them, and then, I'm assuming you fill out another permit application?
no, because we wanna keep one number for
Ah.
every project,
Okay,
beginning to end.
So in essence, it starts with the select board no matter what.
yes,
So we can get, if we deny it or we say, hey, you know what, no, it needs site plan. So if it needs site plan, we keep,
Sure.
it gets its number already,
yeah,
but gets sent to the
Right.
planning board
sure,
for them to do the site plan. If it's something like, it needs, a variance or things like that, it still starts with us, they get a nice
Yeah.
little pretty number again. We deny it and say, okay, go to the ZBA, ZBA will take care of it from their part. Once they approve it, they need to come, circles back to us,
okay,
and then we go ahead and yes it or no it at the end of that.
okay,
So we know that your chart needs a little work.
yes, it absolutely needs.
But it's a
more
great
work.
start.
Yeah,
Excellent,
alright, well, we won't waste any more time with it. We'll go
Okay.
back- Go back and work on it.
well, I'm gonna discuss it with you guys a
Sure.
little bit first, but,
Yeah,
do you want, I'll take,
okay, yeah, that's it.
is that it? Okay.
I got a question in here
Sure.
while we're on it. If you come across anything that is water and sewer related, the department will take it because we're gonna try and organize our files at the same time.
Okay.
So it'll get it out of your hair and we can find a proper home for it.
Sure.
I think at
Yeah.
one of the original meetings, you had found some drawings and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Those
Oh
would
yeah,
be
I have,
extremely-
that's one of the, series I broke out was water sewer, there's one for transfer station as well.
Well, that's not them, that's,
Sure.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll
But
probably stay here.
These, the files that are in there are kind of like the select board's files on these departments.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay, then it
I
can
mean,
go back.
I get it that we might, this is where you
Or
go,
it could be
Like-
overlap and I'm just not
Yeah.
familiar.
You know, I mean, we'd be happy to look at them, but you mentioned some drawings before,
Yeah.
I'm sure those would be.
do you have
super
a box
beneficial
of
for-
stuff for them?
I have a drawer, I don't have a box yet, I
Oh.
didn't really have many boxes to pack up
Oh,
there too.
okay.
So I've been working with what was out there.
No, I get it. But
Yeah.
I agree with Mike,
Just
you
get it
should
in one place. right?
Yeah, absolutely.
get them whatever they've got,
Yeah,
because we don't
that's
know
gonna
what's
free up
there.
a ton, so that'd be good, yeah.
It should, and if they can make a determination that, oh, well, this is the fourth copy of this, we don't need it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
There's no
probably
point
what you'll
where
find
it's-
maybe.
But on the other hand, if it's the missing letters from 1977,
Exactly.
Yeah, well, there's legal stuff in there too, so that very well, I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could also, you know, birthday invitations in there for all I know.
well, we had that too.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, so if that helps. we'll-
Yeah, absolutely, certainly, I'm in the clerk's office often, so you can just grab me and I'd be happy to get it to you.
Awesome, thank you.
Anything else? Good. Okay, have a good night.
have a good night.
You too.
Any Mr. Bailey?
Alan, got that?
Guess not. Alright, so we'll go ahead and.
Who are you looking for?
Alan,
I texted him and I haven't heard back, so I let him know the meeting's right up by.
We'll go ahead and start on with the budgets then. And we'll go ahead and start with, cemetery trustees. Hi, welcome. let's go ahead and go line by line. If you don't mind.
No, not at all.
So, let's see, trustees of level funding, part-time salaries, got an increase. Do we have everybody?
They were making $14 an hour, and I
Right.
felt that was inappropriate,
Makes sense.
especially hiring someone new.
Any of you guys have any questions on that one?
No.
Alright, and you've got the second one there, up again. Increase in pay, vehicle insurance. Seems a little low.
No, I recalculated everything and changed the numbers for everybody.
Maybe because of the age of the vehicle. Something to do with it.
I broke all the departments up.
Okay.
Well, the point I made last time at the budget committee is that, you know, we talked about when Skip retires, that putting this out to bid.
Right.
Rather than hiring a new employee. And
I'm assuming that they wouldn't be contracted to pick up the trash bins down there.
why not?
They would take rubbish.
If people pick it up from here.
Oh, she meant Sue's gonna pick up the trash around if people leave there at some.
Oh, when they leave the stuff there. I mean, I think it's a solvable
You're
problem.
talking about hiring somebody to do the lawn mowing, that kind of stuff. But are they also going to pick up all the trash? Is that something that you would contract with them? Or are we asking for too much?
I don't think,
it's not what the, I think you could do it. You just put it in the contract. that
Yeah.
Do basically general maintenance
Yeah.
and cleaning and all that stuff.
I mean, it's a lump of money, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't,
No,
I'm
so,
just wondering, because Skip was well-known, a lot of people would stop and talk to him,
Sure.
where's so-and-so's grave, that kind of
Yes.
stuff. He would plant flowers, he would pick up,
I,
all that kind of stuff.
as long
And
as
if you
Skip wants that
contract-
job, I think he should have it. I mean,
No, that's not what I'm getting at, but what I'm saying is that if you contract with a lawn care company, are they going to be willing to pick up the trash, to fix the
I think you have a budget.
spigots that aren't working?
I think it depends upon how you structure a contract. I mean,
Mhm.
it's doable. Are you gonna be able to find an employee that's gonna do it?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Is
So,
this something that we have to decide on tonight before it's presented to the town, or is it something that we could do?
no,
No, that's just an idea to go, to think of going forward, cause
Right.
right.
so far, Skip's not going anywhere right now. You know.
He's retired every year for the last 5 years. At some point, it's gonna take.
He
So-
says this is the year it's taking.
So I will piggyback on
I
that.
mean, I think his mom was 96, so, you know, we got a good another 20 years out of it.
He did officially come to our board last meeting and say that he was retiring at the end of the year. That's one thing,
Which year?
this year.
This year.
Yeah. Secondly, I think me and Diane talked about this at the last board meeting about how when you have someone who knows the town, it's a lot different than some land company that comes in and does this for every town out there. And as of right now, I will just state that the trustees have voted to go ahead and try to hire someone rather, because the contract thing came up and it was voted that that wasn't the road we were going now.
If I sit, I have to get back up again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And I mean, this is the thing is, and I'm glad Alan's here. Alan, does the trustees employee come out of the town side of things, or does it come out of the perpetual fund?
Well, it gets paid out of the regular budget.
Okay.
It's reimbursed by the perpetual care fund.
Okay. And so my argument is, we have $3.9 million in that fund. So spending on an employee is really not taxing the town. And I would have to question, because this has come up, where the cemetery person, is that a town employee or a cemetery employee? Because we are a standalone board that is elected by the people.
They're town employees.
Okay.
You're dreaming if you think they're not town employees.
This budget, if
Yeah.
if they weren't to the town, you wouldn't have to do this.
Right.
So this tells you you're part of the town. That they're
Okay.
part of the town.
So then what is the elected official side of it? Because the people elect a board to deal with the cemeteries. I mean, we're in a legal quandary here, I believe.
What?
A legal quandary. The board of selectmen say, well, that's our employee, we can take him and do anything we want with it. My argument would be he's paid out of a petrol fund.
No, he's
technically.
not. He's
He's
not.
reimbursed out
He's
of a
not.
petrol. Is he not reimbursed
He's-
out of a petrol?
The hours that he works at the cemetery can be reimbursed from the perpetual care fund to the town.
Mhm.
But if he mowed the lawn at the library, he could still be a town employee, and those funds would just come out of the town funds. They're not coming out of it.
Well,
So
which
it's a
board
town
would say
employee.
that is allowed?
It's not the board's, this board.
It would be my argument would be the cemetery board, because the
No.
cemetery,
No,
it'd be like if I go to the,
So all
water
hiring-
sewer and tell what the
so
water sewer should do.
all hiring and firing is done through the selectmen.
Mhm.
All of it. So that includes helpers, things like that. The only one that has its own is the water and sewer. Because they are,
Nope. Sorry.
who else can do hire? You guys
So,
did.
yep, the water and sewer department can
Right.
hire.
But you said that.
The library trustees can hire.
Correct.
Cemetery trustees can hire. They are still town employees. There's a little dichotomy there, but they are still town employees. They're still paid under the town's EIN.
Yeah.
But the management of that employee belongs to the elected officials that oversee that position.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So, moving on, my only question would be, is it appropriate for the perpetual care fund to pay a company as opposed to a single employee? Is that, before we go ahead and say something like this is okay, is it something we need to look into?
probably,
Why would it be any different than paying for any other contracted services?
I don't,
Because you're not hiring an employee. You further down here,
yeah, contracted services.
and maybe this is
yeah.
something nobody really gives a damn about.
Mhm.
I'm trying to solve a management problem where you don't have somebody to do the job,
Mhm.
and the reality is, it needs to be done. It is easier in many cases to hire somebody who has a business who does that.
Mhm.
If you're happy, this is, I've kind of led the charge on this. I apologize for that. Do what you want.
And you told us earlier that we don't need to make the decision tonight, so
No.
I would like to leave it at that for now.
Yeah, we're doing your budget. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not worth hours and hours of everybody's time.
alright, so going back down,
I think we got the vehicle insurance.
yeah, vehicle insurance, and Jeremy said that's the correct amount for their one truck? One truck? Okay. Let's see, so that's cutting it down by 2/3. It's a big jump down. Let's see, building maintenance, level funding, clothing allowance going up.
Now, why does it need to go up?
Technically, we supply the boots for the employee,
So you have two employees.
raincoats, that kind of stuff.
And boots are kinda expensive.
Yeah, no, we had that
Well,
conversation
and-
last
I
night.
was just looking at it
And
tonight.
they do so much walking that they do
Sure.
their
Okay.
footwear.
Well, and you're going from one employee to two employees, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
Alright. Dues, etc. Okay. Level funding, that one. Electricity, level funding for, against prior year. purchase. So you're level funding that one, but you've spent nothing this year. What would be equipment purchase?
We didn't need to replace the lawnmower, but we did buy a new motor for the lawnmower.
That's under repairs?
Yeah,
So we
so
can't,
next year we might need to buy a new lawnmower. Or a new weed whacker, or,
Whatever.
when it comes to the lawnmower, my understanding is with the perpetual fund, we're using it, we can fix it. So we can't buy a new one out of that. So if we fix the engine by buying a new engine, it's not buying a new lawnmower. So it's cost effective.
Okay.
Alright, equipment repair going down on that one. 500. Fencing, level funding,
Does
flag.
fencing get paid out of the perpetual care fund?
yes, I believe it is.
Okay.
Alright, flags going up. We all know that's just because everything's going up for those type of things. General supplies going up. What would the general supplies be for down there?
Grass seed?
No, that's under seed, fertilizer and loam, but it would be, if he needed to buy another watering can to put near one of the, spigots, little things that, maybe he needs a new rake, some of that kind of,
You can put that under equipment as well, because that is equipment.
right, but that's,
I'm just hinting towards, there's nothing spent out of this year, and you got a month left. Alright, let's see, so, labor contracted services, level funding, monument repair, almost tripling it.
They have a bunch of monuments destroyed over at the village cemetery, I think.
and we did spend 2,500. It just isn't reflected here, but, I just approved.
Okay.
And
They had done a lot of work at Mountain View.
And that comes out of perpetual care, the monument repairs.
And we've actually trimmed that down, so when our board met to kind of get the budget together, I had proposed, and it had been approved at the time, for 20,000, because, I mean, 8, we'll take 8, but the old cemetery is, the more it breaks, the more expensive it gets. And we have a tree that's down now, luckily it's not on our side of the fence. But as you said, the last tree that came down did thousands of dollars worth of damage. And there's federal regulations we have to stand by, and, you know, we came up with an issue this year with the fact that we didn't know where all of our Revolutionary War veterans were. So people have been questioning it, so we're looking to kind of make that cemetery a lot more up to date.
You're not still burying people, are you?
Excuse me?
You don't use the village cemetery for new burials, do you?
Only because the records weren't,
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
that they kept it, so
So
we
you're
don't
not
wanna
sure.
bury somebody that,
There's already used and
right,
seed's already taken.
Don't
exactly.
go to dig the hole and find
Whoa,
a new treasure.
Uncle Bob.
The records weren't the best.
Alright, we got liability insurance going down, is that correct, Jeremy?
I combined the two,
Okay,
property 0.
so it's going down $200 basically?
Yeah, I recalculated every department and split everything out by property and everything. I found that years past, our calculations, we've actually over budgeted for what the bill is, and it's kind of caused a headache with Sarah and I trying to divvy up the payment. But if the way we're doing now is to have the actual cost of the department, because the only way to solve it perfectly would be to have a separate pool of the entire department.
Right.
Getting there.
Alright, so nothing in the postage line, you don't send out flyers? Can send your
They don't usually read them.
Yeah.
They get returned.
Alright, you've got recharge fire extinguishers. Do you have fire extinguishers down there?
In the
No.
truck.
Right, we have one in the
We have one in the truck. We
Okay.
don't have any down
And
there.
I'm guessing that's not a rechargeable one, it's just you buy a new one every however many
Right.
years. Okay.
It's actually a highway fire extinguisher that we put in that truck for him.
Okay. So it's not just a one-time use.
Yeah, it's
does
not a
it?
throwaway.
Okay. So don't throw it away. Alright, seed, fertilizer load, level funding again. That sounds fine. Seminars, level funding, social security, social security. And that's correct, Jimmy?
At least in the salary.
Yep, perfect. Cellular phone, increasing that. Is that one on the town's line? The town's
Yes,
set?
yes,
Okay.
because he is alone most of the time. It was considered kind of dangerous.
It makes sense. I'm not questioning why you had the cell phone, I'm just making sure the cost of them out, because looking over the past few years, it's been a wage, which is weird. Maybe it's because that's every time we do rebid for everyone's. Let's see. Equipment, fuel, gas, going up $100. Repairs.
I don't know if we've got our final gas bill yet or not,
Okay. Are you using the
town.
town
Yes.
one? Okay. Repairs for the pickup, gone up $100. Older vehicles need to repair it more. Let's see, going up on the veterans' grave markers, workers' comp, and water and sewer. So that current bill,
We may have another water sewer bill coming at the
right,
end of the quarter.
something into the quarter, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, we figured last night based on 3/4.
Yeah, 320 was the final number last night.
okay, yeah. Alright. For a grand total of $63,730.
I move that we approve the budget as submitted.
I'll second.
Alright, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, cemetery. Hi, Alan, let's get you in here real quick.
A few months ago, you authorized me to hire an attorney to handle the side press action for the cemetery perpetual care fund. And we did, and he would like you to sign this fee agreement. TJ, we'll start with you. Would you please sign, there's 2 copies. Please sign on that line and on that line. Dick, this is what we discussed
Yeah,
last night.
yeah.
Do you want to do a motion for having signed this?
I move that we authorize TJ Chase to sign the client agreement with Hawkins Smith and Dowd
I'll second.
for the dealing with.
Actually, make it all 3 of you.
Oh,
Any further discussion?
well, we're gonna make it
As amended.
As amended.
as amended, yeah.
Alright, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On top of the line of each section.
Right, I was just reading because it's.
Then I'll have your
20.
colleagues sign below. Copy number 2, and Dick, would you sign below, TJ?
Sure.
Not gonna meet somebody until.
I was thinking that we had.
That goes to Dick, and this
Yeah,
will go to
well,
after
Curtis.
town meeting.
And this is, she's,
you can try it, and then
Yeah,
you don't
and
get it
that way
everybody.
we can-
Great job.
But I'm just thinking,
Perfect.
definitely want to be called. You know, 20.
26.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can try it. You know, we had said
Just don't want
in
to-
one conversation that maybe they could work for the highway department for the winter. plowing?
We could.
Because he's lost the guy that did the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll just take one copy and I can send
Somebody else's property has it.
Two signatures.
We had done the health, wait, advertisement for this year.
I was just gonna kick.
Yeah, I know. Gentlemen, that's all I had. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming out.
I would say that would be not.
Alan,
I thought so.
Alan.
You gotta speak up.
Should we do that? I have that book here.
Yeah, we're gonna rearrange the agenda a little bit, folks. I gotta be careful with that thunder.
Okay. Well, here's your choices. I think it's, that one.
Yep, yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Do it now?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to go under non-public, under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2C. Diane, we need you to stay. Matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board. Unless such person requests an open meeting, this exemption shall extend to include any application for assistance through tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant. We also need Mr. Woolley.
The reputation of elected officials don't count, just so you know.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah,
No, hang on.
Yeah, they don't. You can't protect the reputation
right.
of an
I think
elected
you're
official
correct.
under that,
Yeah.
under that
He's
RSA.
right.
Members other than the, oh, let's see. Effective certification of any person other than a member of this. No, because he's not of this
It's
public
elected,
body.
it's relevant to his elected position though. I think Ben's right.
Alright,
I withdraw my motion.
alright, then,
Matt,
can we get Matt back in here?
since we're on the cemetery budget. Jeremy, can you?
He's coming. So, it came to our attention that there was some items purchased and reimbursed under a clothing allowance that is meant for employees.
Okay.
This board feels that that is not appropriate to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is considered misappropriation of funds. And we feel that the money needs to be reimbursed
Okay.
back to the town.
Okay.
And based on this memo, the $165.71 will be split between the next two stipend payments.
Okay, so, quick question. If this, why is this not in non-public?
Because you're an elected official.
Okay. So I'm an elected official by the cemetery, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so, we at the cemetery, and I forget what meeting, I'll have to look at the notes, had said, hey, listen, I'm gonna go out and help Skip. Do a couple things, get some stuff, because we're running into the issues. I helped them with the trees, I helped them with the others. My understanding is, in that opinion, and I had asked, and this has never been brought up to my board at our meetings. So you pop this up on public in a selectmen's meeting, but a selectmen's rep has not come to our board and asked the chairman, who happens to be me, what the question was, because we could have answered this before.
So why is it that you feel that you need an embroidered shirt, embroidered hat, embroidered sweatshirt,
Mhm.
when even Skip buys a t-shirt that's printed,
Mhm.
that costs at most maybe $15 for a shirt that's printed.
Mhm.
That is,
Again, you just skipped,
Again.
you just skipped, Mr. Chairman. You just skipped my question to you.
why
Yes
we
or
didn't,
not?
why we didn't go to you?
Yeah,
Because this was brought to our attention.
okay.
Now, I can look at this way, and you can take this and submit the money back, or we can send this to the state, which they, if you didn't know anything, Seabrook was had 5 people arrested.
Yes,
for
I know
misappropriation of
that
funds.
because it.
Do not raise your voice and listen. This board, you're using town funds
Mhm.
for employees. You are not an employee of that board, or that thing, correct?
I'm not an employee of my board.
No,
Yeah,
you're
did
not
you
an
say
employee
I'm
of the
not? No,
cemetery
you just
department.
said I'm not an employee of my board.
I didn't
Yes
say
or
board.
no?
I said
Yes or no?
you are not an employee of the cemetery.
Oh.
Correct. Yes or no?
Well, you would have to ask the state that.
You're an elected official.
You are an elected official.
Who gets paid, so.
You get paid.
Well, the budget's built.
Now, this is the thing, let me start off by saying, when I did bring it up to Diane, I said, hey, what's the thing? I said, if I need to pay for it, I will. Because what you're doing is accusing me of stealing. Okay, I understand welfare has done the same thing, Mr. Chairman. Again,
Now what?
you did not ask, I mean, you did not answer what I asked. I said, hey, why did you not bring this before our board? And then we could bring it out in public and stuff like that, because we have nothing to hide. So again, why did you
So
wait
you
to
just
now?
made accusations against the welfare department now.
I'm just saying, I have been told, just like you have been told about me, I have been told about welfare.
Well,
And if we're talking about welfare, I would ask you to recuse yourself.
Wait, time out, guys, time out. So that you understand, maybe this is how you understood this works. You went out and ordered stuff,
Mhm.
and then we got the bill. And our billing clerk questioned the validity of the bill.
No, my understanding is the chairman of your board did. Everything was fine, and then the chairman of my, so how long have you known about this, Mr. Chairman?
I knew about it when
So how
Sarah
long?
called me.
So how long?
Sarah called me when you
No,
submitted the
or
bill
you were in
after she paid
You
it.
should check your cameras, because I believe it's on camera.
Sarah
Not only
submitted-
one person can use a camera, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, I know.
okay?
There's nothing wrong with that. But you're getting very defensive
Well,
because
no.
do you know what that line is meant for? Employees. You are not an employee of the
Well-
cemetery department.
You've been through the budget building process at least once, we were just talking about it. That
Yeah.
line is for boots
Okay,
and equipment.
yeah.
I mean,
It's not for equipment, because there's another line for equipment.
It's for.
That is for, and when I brought it to my board, and I kind of brought
Do
it
you
in a
have a-
general sense,
Do you have a motion from the board to approve that?
I will have to check the records, I probably not.
So again,
But it was just
it's-
talked about.
it's no motion. No.
Who are
nothing
you to tell us how to run our board?
Okay, you know what? This is done. I'm gonna submit it to the state.
Okay,
for
and I will
misappropriation of
give,
funds.
I will,
It's that simple.
okay. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Chairman. At that event, it was a big event, Depot Day or something, and when you're talking about telling everyone, oh, well, you know, I think he's stealing, it's misappropriated funds and stuff like that.
I haven't talked to anybody about this.
Really? You have never brought this up?
well, we prepared a memo.
Okay. But you've
Yes.
known about this for how long?
Since it happened.
Okay,
And I brought it up
like
to.
a month, 2 months ago. But you didn't bring it up to me, but you're waiting for tonight. If you brought it up to me, or one of your colleagues had brought it up to me and said, hey, this is the thing, I would say, my mistake, I apologize. It's because I was going out helping Skip. By no means, you know what I mean? That's fine, I'll give you the money. I'm not lacking money, it's not. But you brought it up this way. I'm asking you why you're, as an elected official, as a selectman, why you didn't bring this up before.
Well, where would you want us to bring it?
Because,
I'm
I'm gonna say this because we're on camera, because we're both all elected officials. You've been going around talking shit about me, TJ. Ever since your wife got fired. And your wife's been talking shit about me. And I have that document
About what?
about the fact that he's been talking
About what?
about the fact that he's been talking crap about this for months. He hasn't said anything to me. It's been on the cameras, you know, the ones that you watch all the time, TJ.
I don't watch them all the time.
Okay,
Well,
so this is the thing. You see, you're bringing it up and you're talking crap. Why has this not been an issue 2 months ago? Because if they said, hey,
you
we
only
can,
bought the stuff 2 months ago.
huh?
You only ordered the stuff.
Okay, so
According to this invoice, you ordered it on
Sarah,
September 5th.
okay, so September. So when Sarah's like, oh, okay, so I got a question about this and stuff like that. Why wasn't it brought up like, hey, my bad, I wasn't trying to do anything shady, because he's coming across.
She already paid it. She brought it to my attention after
Listen,
she already paid it.
She asked me about it, and I said, I think it's fine. I don't know. You've mentioned it several times to several people in town. Your wife has too, but this is the first time we're doing it in public.
Well,
Because you're accusing me of embezzlement, so why do you not have
Let
a
me
chief
stop
in
you there
here?
for a second.
nobody said embezzlement.
The only reason
No,
this is
you
done-
use the word embezzlement on, at that.
Misappropriation of funds is the only thing I've said tonight.
Tonight.
So listen, we were gonna take this into non-public, but it was brought to our attention that this shouldn't be non-public.
You're right. Because if you're gonna attack me and my credibility, it should be in public. If one chairman is gonna go after another chairman for whatever reasons, because I have about 15 different issues with you, that's why I kept on saying you wanna go into non-public. How you accuse me of making the people in your office feel uncomfortable, which is total bullshit.
No, it's not.
It's total bullshit,
It's not.
okay?
You make the people in this building feel uncomfortable by sitting here all day.
Dude, so what do I do here? I look at records that the chairman said, no, cemetery records are under us, we can't do anything. So I can't take it out of the building. When I'm here, I do stuff for the town. Because I have to do it here. Because I can't say, hey, I'm taking these records to my house or
No.
wherever and stuff like that. Which, if I believe I may be wrong, on the state statute, it specifically says if a board member is getting ready or a chairman of a board is getting ready for a meeting. When I get my information, it's for for my meetings.
Okay. You tell me that, I don't know that rule, but
Okay.
I wouldn't, even if I could.
So because as a member of the public, I can't be here during the day? Because I'm here researching, I'm just taking information. Again, we're still avoiding the fact that TJ, as chairman of the board, and his wife have been spreading rumors all through.
No one on this board has control over my wife, not even me.
Mhm.
Not even anybody in this
Well, and I don't.
building. What she says or does is on her.
Absolutely,
And
100%.
it's on her. Now me, like I said, I have not talked to anyone about this, except 2 people.
Mhm.
And that was Sarah
Mhm.
and actually Dave.
Okay.
Now the reason why is because I was going to bring this up in a different way, because since we're doing the budget, I was gonna bring it up to you and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. It is misappropriation
And
of
so
funds.
why didn't you do that? That would have been more appropriate?
This was in my binder today.
Okay.
Again, I didn't bring this one up.
And I will tell you that I asked that a memo be prepared.
Okay, absolutely, that's fine.
And so that's what the,
But do you understand where I'm upset?
You feel like
Mr.
we're
Selectman.
attacking you, and we're
No,
not.
no. I'm
You're offended. I'm attacking
Yes.
you. That's fine. I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to find
Mhm.
the easiest route for this.
Mhm.
And the easiest current route is to say, hey, we're going to get involved and we're going to say, we're going to stipend you for the 2 payments, unless you want to just pay it back now, and then we don't have to go through the whole trying to split up the payment.
I will
for
pay it back.
It's up to you on
So,
that.
but this is the thing, again,
so.
you didn't bring the issue up
The-
to the board that oversees it.
well,
right? I'm the chairman, vice chairman, you didn't bring it up, you could have said, hey, brought it up to her, because you didn't want to bring it up to me, and it could have been brought up to one of our meetings, and I said, okay, I could be prepared to say, okay, this is what's going on. You just quoted 5 people getting arrested
For misappropriation
for
of funds.
misappropriation of funds, which indicates they broke a law, which is why I don't understand why this is not a police matter.
Because you
Okay.
are an elected official, it goes above Dave,
It's a-
unfortunately.
it's a
Now, if
judgment.
we don't settle this, we have to submit it to the state. When they come and audit and they say, hey, why is there a bill that says
I'll
this?
pay it, and I say
That's
still
fine.
submit it to the state.
It's a,
Will you do that for me?
Once you pay it, there's no point in submitting to the state.
Why, we don't wanna talk to the state about what's going on in Troy? Because you just came across accusing me.
No, once this is paid up, there's no misappropriation of funds or anything.
I would argue there's not a misappropriation of funds at all.
Are you an employee of the cemetery? Again, we're going right back to the same thing.
Are you in charge of the cemetery?
I'm
Okay,
in
Mr. Chairman,
charge.
again, as I said, I have an issue
Do you
because
have
I
a-
feel you're personally attacking me.
So, as an elected official, you're the chairman, you understand this one. To spend any money from this board, for me to spend money, buy something, I have to have approval. Did you have approval?
Again, I gotta check the records. I know I brought it up at a meeting. And I'm being very honest.
Well,
So,
your
if it-
co-chair, or your deputy chair, or whatever, I'm sorry.
Do we have a copy of the minutes? Any of the minutes? Okay, we don't have any copies, unfortunately, we don't have any
They were-
copies, any of the minutes.
The minutes have been filed that
Yeah, no, I seen that.
they've been filed.
Yeah, she,
Somehow.
And in your memory, was this ever brought up to
No.
get reimbursed or anything like that?
No,
So again, that's where this is the hard part. If I submit something for reimbursement, I have to make sure these two approve of it as well. And that's how these things go. Because if we use money and I submit a reimbursement for it that I didn't get approval for, it's considered misappropriation of funds. No matter the dollar amount, $5, $10, $20,
what would it,
160
but,
something.
okay, and so if that's
what
what
would
it
have
is,
been better would have been for Sarah to not pay the bill.
100%, Sarah say, hey, you need to pay, and I would have been okay. I would, yes,
But
absolutely.
She unfortunately did pay the bill.
Right.
And the reason we're trying to get this
So
settled.
misappropriated fund, or is it, clerical? What are you trying to get at?
Well, you charge
So,
them.
Hey.
misappropriation of funds will unfortunately hit anybody who has anything to do with it. So it could go down to, because she paid it, she would get in trouble as well.
So, yes, and that's why I'm paying it, because I don't want her to get in trouble. What I'm saying,
And I'm
Mr.
with
Chairman,
you on
is I put the bill, and I said, hey, and she's like, is this covered under the cemetery? I was like, we'll have to see. Like, you, please check. Please check.
Unfortunately, she didn't check, and that's
Okay.
where.
But you just came out and said I was misappropriating funds, Mr. Chairman.
Well,
Do you get
It
that?
is misappropriation of funds.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
you are
If I
getting
get
it.
up and I say, hey, can you check this, dude? And stuff like, and you don't check it, I say, oh, it's good, and I take it, and something's wrong, it misspelled, kind of like town meeting.
It's a line item for boots and you bought an embroidered
So it's
cap.
not in line item for boots, it's in line for clothing. And this is the thing, Dave, when I purchased it, I did not say, oh, I'm gonna charge this through the town. They gave me the bill and say, bring it to, okay, and I gave it to Sarah, and I said, hey, Sarah, here you go. And she's like, I'm not sure, I will check. Who's her boss? Okay, did she check with you?
Were you elected for the cemetery, or were you appointed?
I was appointed,
Because you weren't on the ballot for this year for the cemetery, correct?
I wasn't on the ballot.
Still falls on all the elected officials.
No, I just wanted to get.
But that's why,
I was asked by this board to fill in.
so the bottom line is, are you willing to reimburse us?
Absolutely,
How do you
110%.
want to do it? Do you want to do it as you pay it back instantly, done deal, or do you want to do it where they take the money
I will
from the
pay it
site?
back instantly, again.
Whenever you can,
Yeah,
if
within
that's
the
what you
next-
agree
yeah.
upon with.
Yes, I'm 100%, but I'm still a little pissed off the way it's done. Because if it was a clerical error,
Because the what?
if it was a clerical error, because she said, oh no, we'll pay it, and she signed it. And I'm not saying, because I'm sure.
I'm sorry, but I can't let Sarah get thrown under the bus here.
Okay, I'm
Sarah,
not doing that.
Excuse
I'm not
me.
doing
Can
that.
Mr. Chair, can I speak?
By him, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Mr.
Yes.
Chair, can I speak?
Okay.
So the way it works is, and you're the chairman of your board, so even more so, you have the power to go in and take a bill and code it a certain way. You're gonna have that bill paid by Sarah. Sarah is, in that regard, is an order taker. That's what she does, period.
Absolutely, 100%.
So it is not her responsibility to determine whether or not a bill is valid or not. She may ask that question along the way, and if she asks you that question,
That question was asked.
whatever.
And I
So-
said, can you check? So this is the thing.
It's your
This is the
responsibility.
thing. So this is the thing for.
The problem is it's not, all I'm saying is Sarah should
I'm
not
not
be thrown
blaming
under the
Sarah.
bus here.
I'm
So,
not saying that.
we got
I'm
on the
not-
clerical error and Sarah's name was used and I want it to go on the record that
and
it's
that's
not
the problem.
Sarah's fault.
I
It's
know.
So
not.
I'm trying to save everybody's butt with this.
And I think you need to be
Because-
conscious of the fact that, you are a chairman of a committee.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you should, you know, as Ben said, that young lady is, she's got 1,000 bills to pay a week.
And she
And-
was,
Stellar, she's amazing.
Right.
So that's not that. I'm not. You guys brought up Sarah. I'm not saying because I'm trying to understand because he accused me
Well,
of a
it's,
crime.
when you know, there's a lot of, you got elected, you're in the job,
Mhm.
you want the job. So you have to say, where's my judgment call as chairman of this committee? And say, is it reasonable to spend $165 on embroidered shirts? Or should that pay for boots for Skip? Oh, it was, the whole budget's based on buying 2 pairs of boots a year.
So that's not what the budget is based on. But
Well, that's the only conversation I've ever had on it.
That is part of the budget.
Yeah, I agree with that, but there's no, I mean, that's a judgment call. Pardon me if I have to.
so on this, Matt, you wanna pay it back without hitting the stipend or anything else like that, correct? So
Absolutely.
somebody with better handwriting, Jeremy or Curtis, can one of you, or can we amend this?
Well, this first one's already been processed, so.
Oh,
So it's taken out already without talking to me about it. I'm just.
oh, that's right, because they just went out tonight.
So that's what happened. It was taken out already.
It will be.
Okay.
You haven't been paid yet.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, so that happened without giving me a chance to answer any of these questions. There's not legality on that, Mr. Chairman?
That I'd have to look into for
I
that,
would if I was you.
because like I said, this memo is to save everyone's butt from any of that stuff going any farther past than this room in the town listening on.
Well, you just indicated it's going to. Because you took money out of a stipend that was sent to me without telling me anything about it. Blindsided me, and then came, because this is the thing,
Well, I didn't take the money. Like I said, I would figure it would go into the next 2, not just this next one.
Well, no, it was supposed to be split,
Well, yeah, but the next 2
but
payments.
So, but you see where I'm coming. If your boss comes to you and says, hey, listen, I took money out of your check because of this, and there was no discussion about it, it just happened. Is that not misappropriation of funds or something? I mean, you're the legal eagle, it would fall into something.
On that one, that would be a case for probably the labor board and quite a few other things in that one.
we'll figure the money thing out.
But we'll figure the money thing out for it. We are going to process this as.
But, so, because one of the selectmen's gone, I will address the other selectmen. This is where I feel like this is, a personal attack.
I'll take it this way. If you have a complaint against this board, you can file a complaint.
I have a complaint against one member of this board.
File a complaint, fill out the paperwork, and we'll take it up.
Like I
That's the best
said,
I can give
I
you.
had nothing to do with this. This was put in by Dick. Like I said, I was gonna talk to you about it after the budget stuff is discussed, because if you notice, I didn't bring up that the uniform line was
But
what
that,
was
if
spent.
we're gonna do in public, that's when it should have been done. Because I believe, and Jeremy, tell me if I'm wrong, when you go into executive session, if it,
It's called non-public.
okay, it depends where you're at, non-public.
We're in
Is
New
it-
Hampshire, we're in Troy, it's called.
Okay, is that not, what do you call it, a person's reputation?
Because you're an elected official, it doesn't.
Yeah, when you're
doesn't
an
matter.
elected official,
So for an example.
We tried to do that, but Ben corrected us,
and he's right.
and
For an
they
example,
feel it's right.
What do you mean Ben corrected you?
Because we were gonna go under 91A3 2C, which if you'd like to read what that is,
Mhm.
it is.
I know what it is, I sat in class with you.
I'm just, not everyone knows the wording of
This
everything.
doesn't,
So
this
then,
doesn't qualify for non-public for several reasons, in my opinion. Number one, you're an elected official. You're appointed, but you're effectively an elected official. Number two, this is a money matter.
Absolutely.
It's a public money matter. Therefore, it should be held in the public forum. And I think those two reasons alone, being
So I would have to ask, because I'm trying to get information.
Yeah.
If it's a money issue and there's a question of misappropriation of funds, I would think that first of all, it would go to the local police and the local police would say.
No, it's not that
Okay,
complicated.
okay.
So I think we need
Before-
to move this on.
before
But
this-
I'm asking why Ben knew.
Before you got all excited, and this thing went sideways, we had a memo to discuss with you, because this is not, we don't believe this is a correct expenditure of funds. We want you to pay it back, which
Absolutely.
you've agreed to.
Yeah.
And so the memo, which we had Jeremy put together for us, says, basically, we believe this is an inappropriate expense, it was improperly charged to the town, and we'll take it out of your next 2 stipend checks.
Which it's already been taken out,
Well, I was thinking, because we do have our checks.
without me having a chance to even look at the memo.
Yeah, it's not your option.
I don't have an option of getting a memo, if something's gonna be,
Well, then
public
you-
record would state that if I'm gonna be doing something with the board, I
well,
would be able to see the other side, is that not correct?
you could say we improperly deducted from your paycheck.
Okay, so the other question is, and this is a question for Ben, how did Ben know about this issue?
I don't
It
think
came
he
up,
did.
it actually came up at the budget committee last night, and it was talked about casually at the budget committee meeting, and I saw that they were going into non-public, and they're asking Diane specifically to stay, and you to stay.
Okay.
So, and I know if 91A, I know 91A,
So
very intimately,
if
so.
they, no,
And
no,
it's important
absolutely.
that the town follows 91As.
Yes, it
correctly.
is, even
So,
for your board.
It has nothing to do with you, it's
So my
just
thing
following
is
the
this,
rules.
so my question is this, they had not even decided whether it's a non-public, right? You guys
We
had
were
it,
just about to go
Actually,
into it.
you were just about to.
He made the motion,
But you see what I'm saying? So it was already discussed before
No.
at a different
No.
meeting.
and I'm
No,
not
it
part of that
wasn't
meeting.
Casually, no, I'm saying casually, you knew about it, right?
Matt,
Question,
hold on.
right?
The 91A
we
was
already,
discussed.
we really already fixed this. You said you're gonna pay it.
Mhm.
If you have a complaint, fill out a complaint form, turn it in. We really need to get this meeting moving forward. Because people on Facebook don't deserve this. They wanna go through our agenda that we have. Don't wanna be rude, interrupt, but we need to move forward on this agenda. Thank you.
Because it's already been one and then, so, we have not. We probably should though. So,
Just the memo submitted.
yeah, we're gonna submit the memo out, and since they've already taken one out, the other one,
Am I able to get a copy of this memo, or is this?
it'll be sent to you, or we'll get a copy
Hand it to him
done.
right now.
don't
I
think
move
we-
that we adopt the memo submitted today regarding the purchase form number 4495-239, clothing allowance, as addressed to Matt Willie, cemetery trustee.
I'll second.
Alright, any further discussion?
We got enough discussion.
I'm with you on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Here's one, let's all sign.
Oh, it's already,
Yes.
this one's the staple one.
Well, no, we didn't get one today.
Yeah, oh yeah, we can actually, yeah. Or Jimmy can just make a copy of it.
Well, we just get one signed original.
Okay, works for me.
If you wanna pay it differently, Sarah will take care of it.
And one of them did go, the first one was already taken out of the cycling, because that was automatically deposited today by what I was just told, so. If you wanna take care of the other half without having it taken out, you can, that's all on you, and work out with the office. Alright, now we've got the budget for the highway department.
Do you wanna do the
Oh.
train depot update first?
Okay, sure. Hi!
Hi.
I was just looking around like, where'd she go?
Hi, the wallflower in the corner. So, I'm gonna change the subject completely here, guys.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought so. So I have a proposal. Sorry, I just actually got it done tonight, but it's been a little crazy. But we have an opportunity to actually get a milk car that was actually run on the Cheshire branch of the line and bring it to our depot. There's no charge for the car. It is just, we're gonna need to raise funds to move it.
It's a buy one, get one type thing.
Yeah, it was a buy one, get one for
Could I have a picture?
I was wondering what a milk car was. I'm like, what's a milk car?
So I have, this is actually, I got there's another one
That
over
one you can
here.
put on the side.
Right now it's labeled Green Mountain because it obviously milk from Vermont. And so we have an opportunity to get this car, move it, and we've been looking at the areas down there, and we'd like to put it on the south end of the freight shed. We have to build 50 feet of track, and we need some stone. Strangely, you're here. Because this was a great supporter of our first track. So we need to put about 50 feet of track down and put it at that south end. And we are working in conjunction with the B&M Historical Society of Massachusetts. Well, it's the B&M Historical Society. They are very excited about this also because we have the opportunity to, when this comes, there's not a lot of work that needs to be done on this at all, per se.
Looks like it needs to be painted.
It will need to be painted and it will need to be relettered, but that's like the 6154, that's pretty easy. Relatively easy compared to our project. We are still working on our project for the 6157, but this one would give us an opportunity to actually have additional display down there, be able to put milk cans, bottles, more railroad equipment, and have it open during the day to the public when we are open, showing them, this milk car, like I said, ran through Troy, but what did it really do? It actually provided milk from, the Vermont to Boston, and also being able to promote, it helps because the 6154, as we keep doing the model train shows, it's becoming a thing, everybody knows about it, knows about Troy, it's bringing people to Troy.
Will we go through the walking tour flyers that are on the side of the train depot?
Mm-hmm.
We fill it up about every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know how many we put in there, probably 50-ish.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I mean, people, every time we are down there, Billy will tell you we're down there, it doesn't matter.
I can't go down there any given day. She'll send me down to get something. 2 hours later, I get home, somebody sees it.
Yeah, no, I know. I see it.
Yeah.
I just figured she threw you out.
Yeah.
Usually, it's just an hour and a half for starters.
Yeah, that's his shed, not mine. But no, I mean, and a lot of people that do come, they have done, because I've actually gone down and done, I've done a couple of videos. One of them was with the Ashburnham B&M Historical Society. I went down to another one that was called Old Wheels, all the old B&M. I gave presentations on what we've done, everything, and these guys have actually, Depot Day this year was well attended. We had almost 300 people come by, and a lot of those people were from Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island. They all came up to see the train, and also because of everything that we've been doing. So what we're really doing is bringing more people to Troy and being able to really, I would like to turn that into a whole depot park. I have another presentation, another proposal on that. I'm not doing that tonight. But realistically.
So have you got room between the end of the shed, the freight shed, and the trees?
Yes, pretty much, yes. We would have to move 2 boulders.
Well, that's not a big deal, because you have to grade that out anyway.
Yeah, I got a guy. No, but I mean, and it would not, this would not happen, obviously, it's not gonna happen anytime, this soon. It would be, we would start at next spring time period. We have enough railroad ties pretty much left, we believe. If not, Vermont Rail is going to supply the extra ties if we need them. They will supply the rail. So all of that will be donated. Hopefully we can get everything donated, have it laid, the people that have been helping, my guys that have been helping do that, we can get that laid, and then it's more just raising the funds to get this moved. We have the guy that moved our 6154, he's actually moved the Flying Yankee, he's actually in the process of moving 3 more trains now.
Because of our move.
Because of our move, everybody's calling him. He's the only guy in the area, in the whole, from Maine to past Mississippi that will move this.
Yeah.
So he's gotten quite a bit of work from it and continues to go, and he was up in Maine last weekend moving 2 cabooses. So this one would actually be a fairly, I say easy because I picked the biggest frickin' train you could and brought that to Troy. So now everything else is relatively easy.
So what do you need from us?
Just proposal to continue. It will, and it's important, and I'm glad I'm on camera. Again, can't say it enough. This is not costing the town anything. And we don't take any funds from the town. This is purely donations and volunteer.
How much is it gonna cost the taxpayer? That question
Was there
will
a
literally
comment
come
there
up.
about language? Should
Somebody will
I?
ask that, somebody will ask that tomorrow.
Yeah, Tom was.
We've been there. Yep.
Yeah. No.
So how much money out of my pocket?
Yeah. No, it has not cost the town anything at all.
Okay, so I move that we adopt the proposal from the Historical Society, or the Depot.
The depot.
The Depot, as presented by Kim Chapey this evening, with regard to taking the opportunity to take possession of an old B&M milk car to be placed on the south side of the freight shed at the depot site.
I'll second. Any further discussion? That was a long ass motion. You got it all?
Yeah.
He was gonna map it out and just say exactly where it was.
I have a map if you need to.
All
I was in marketing. I'm good at this.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We're all set.
All right. You want all that? You gonna keep all that?
I'm good.
You sure? All right.
And we just go to my kid.
Just go to your kid.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a lot of kids.
Why don't you post that on the board outside?
Yeah, actually that would be good. I'm on the board that's right here.
Yeah, I can. I'm pretty one to see the car.
Or the new cork board out there in the front. Actually,
I
yes, how about both?
I might stay for them.
Yeah.
If you got, put one out, lobby one, and one in the one that's right
Yeah.
there.
How many bedrooms is that?
Yeah.
So.
How much is it gonna cost the town?
Exactly. Again, what's the taxpayers?
Yeah. If I read one more comment that stop taking the money for the depot and fix the roads, I'm gonna choke somebody.
It takes a while to sink in sometimes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And believe me, I have to face the budget committee, so I know what
I'm probably, it's gonna be a little lackluster compared to your last 2 people. I just want to touch base on any decisions that may or may have not been made in reference to the West Hill expansion.
No decisions have been made on it.
We kind of left it up in the air. I mean, what, I guess my question is, what are we gonna do to get a building permit? I mean,
Well, it needs to upgrade the standard, right, for the road?
It is up to standard other than the paving portion of it.
right.
So I think the next one is, you could bring it to the town meeting?
We need to get that on the
That would be to get the road brought up to class 5.
Right. That would be,
I thought we talked about possibly doing a road swap, John, with, over on Quarry Road,
No, Gap Mountain.
Gap Mountain Road. So we wouldn't. So, my suggestion would be, bring us an application for a building permit, whatever it is you wanna do. And then we'll probably table it, but then we'll know what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Kind of force our hand.
Yeah, okay. All right. Since we last spoke, we've improved the road even further. And working with John, our intention is to at least make it suitable for one lane of traffic, even a car,
Yeah.
all the way down Route 12. So in
Put
emergency.
that bridge in?
It will be.
Oh, okay.
Which, with that being said,
Now, do you come out at the gate down by the river?
Yes.
That is you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, it is us, but that is a class 6 road.
No, I know it is.
Yes.
It's within living memory that you could drive through, so. I just,
with him updating the road the way he is, the way it's going to be, I believe it falls under an emergency lane,
yeah,
which can be built upon,
yeah. Well,
which wouldn't need to go to town meeting.
well, the first step would be bring us the building permit, with your plans and what you wanna do.
That'll be a little while, cause that's all still up in the air as to where.
I was gonna say, our next meeting's the December.
I would advise the selectmen to take a ride up there and look at the road.
I haven't been up there since the summer and I drove through the middle of somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
Who knew? I thought it was a town road. I didn't know it was a wedding.
Well, it is.
That road to me is, I would consider it a class 5 road the way it sits.
I was impressed, but
The way that,
I think it would be more helpful to what you wanna do to submit your building permit sooner
Mhm.
rather than later. Because then we can begin the process of what, if anything, we wanna do.
And if a building permit in this town isn't acted upon, you just renew it in a year, or is it good forever?
Oh, no.
1 year. And
One
then
year,
it'll
okay,
come
that's-
back and get renewed.
Yeah,
And
okay,
before that
that's
expires.
what we do over there too.
Yeah,
Okay.
they used to be forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Only good for 42 years ago.
Well, I thank the board for giving my time, and I'll get going on that.
are you gonna work tomorrow, or are you taking another day
I'm
off?
all week. Off the whole
I'm not driving to Richmond.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Now we're jumping to
Highway
highway
department.
department.
Last night in the budget committee, they took the transfer station first. I think that might be,
Take the transfer station first.
yeah.
All right, we're switching to jumping to transfer station first.
Let me go grab my other hat.
Yes, so. Are you the only one left on the agenda?
Yeah.
I think there's 3 building permits.
You want one?
Yeah. This is my favorite. I got one.
What?
4 building permits?
Oh, shit, 5.
Where's the one?
The solo one I didn't copy.
You want one? No,
I just look at it real quick.
I don't know. I don't do good with old papers.
All right, lead us through this, what you're thinking, what you got, what you're going for the transfer station.
It collects trash and recyclables.
All right, so, superintendent line, you're increasing, part-time salaries, or part-timer salaries, increasing as well,
Well,
advertising.
just so we don't roll right by that, so that you understand, it's not that it's not just raises, but you have more hours.
Right,
Yeah.
but I should have signed that, yes.
Yeah.
So it is open another day, and a lot of people like that. Is it still your impression that we're gonna keep it open the extra day during winter?
Yes, reduced hours though.
Okay. And you will have those reduced hours at some point soon?
Yes.
Get it announced, get it out to everyone so they know. Alright, so superintendent as I said, it's an increase, but that's also for extra hours, et cetera, because the superintendent has a lot more work than anything else. The part-time salaries, how many part-timers are you gonna have?
We have 3 right now,
Okay.
which are all grossly underpaid.
I'm sympathetic to that, I understand. Advertising, going up $30, bottled water.
What do you advertise down there?
Well, we're gonna have to advertise new food limit. Yep.
Okay, just,
I know that when we changed the fee schedule, that should have been advertised as well.
yeah.
So bottled water, you're keeping level funded. Building maintenance, you're going down.
Yep.
Clothing allowance, you're going up. You buying in boots and stuff as well?
Yes, boots, and clothing.
Now, their boots have to be steel toed, correct?
Yes,
And-
steel toe, slip resistant.
Level system. Alright, disability insurance, $1. Dues, membership, subscriptions, that's increasing, that's for also the training of new people, get them all their licenses they need.
Yep.
Now, they need licenses to be working down there, correct?
As long as somebody is licensed down there, they can work under that person.
Okay. Okay. Let's see, electricity, you're going up, but we all know why, because electricity is not, well, you're also opening an extra day, so you're gonna use stuff, that makes sense. Equipment purchase, so that is a large increase, what's the plan there?
Be looking at getting a huge compactor. So we don't have to switch between mixed paper and aluminum.
Okay, and there is room for another compactor in the back there?
Yes. Plenty of room there.
Just making sure, you know, we don't want them stacked next, like back to back or anything like that, there's nothing along the back wall, right?
Yep.
Okay. Level funding equipment repair, reducing the equipment repair for the forklift.
Yep. That's on a regular maintenance schedule now.
Electric car,
What is that?
That's an electric car.
backing up.
Really?
They need to make a noise because they're quiet, so they make, instead of a backup alarm, they make a
That
noise.
sounds like brakes are going out.
Can we put those on the highway truck?
You don't want the beeping?
No.
Alright, general supplies, going up.
Yep.
What falls under your general supplies for there?
All their, not like office supplies, but, some of their gloves.
The personal protection stuff?
Yeah,
PPE.
yeah, and that comes out of the safety also.
Alright. If either of you have questions, you can ask them too. I don't want to be the only one destroying this budget. Electronic disposal, reducing it down.
What's the reason for that? You not getting enough?
We don't know what a bill is, there's a bill missing. We shipped electronics last year and never saw a bill.
Yeah, we had that, that's a little weird, but we should use them again.
Well, this is that's another like reimbursement type thing, right?
No, that's,
I mean, you charge to take electronics, so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they charge to
Well,
take it, but
there's a lot of offset income,
well, no, I just,
and since we changed the policy and actually collect the fees and things, you'll notice a substantial increase
Well,
in
that
the
makes-
revenue coming in on the backside.
that makes me feel that my time wasn't wasted.
we just don't get to see that on this part, unfortunately.
Yeah.
so the electronic disposal is,
Yeah.
what we're charging now is comparable to what other towns are doing, which is comparable to what the state is asking these transfer stations to charge, which is lower than what we're being charged to ship it. we're still making revenue on it.
Alright, level funding, Hep fee, health insurance, hazardous waste, level funding with that one. Heating oil level funding, oil burner service level funding.
Which there was a bill that just came in.
Okay, I was just about to ask, have we gotten a bill for that one, so. And that bill will hit this year's, so that, how much was the bill?
420, I believe. That's because they needed some extra work.
Okay. So you're not expecting another $400 bill?
No,
Next year?
Obviously a couple of years.
Alright, labor contracted services, do tell.
That is part of what the state is coming down on us for, is taking care of the vegetation around the outside of the fence and the inside of the fence.
That's that 5-foot buffer zone or whatever?
10-foot buffer between vegetation and fence.
Oh, it's 10 foot?
Yep, and then the inside, can't have anything on the inside because of the cap, and they need to be able to access the wells.
Stuff we were supposed to do 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But we weren't here.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see, life insurance, level funded, medical equipment supplies, that's going up.
Yep, that's for new first aid kits.
Okay. Methane gas calibration. Is there actually methane gas that we need to calibrate it coming out? That's what you've seen? Well, clearly there hasn't been a bill in 3 years. Liability insurance, Jeremy, that's correct for that? That one?
Should be 423. So the one that's in your packet has the correct number.
Other than this month and the past month.
Okay, so that one you might want to reach out to the company that's supposed to be monitoring them and see.
Who's that from?
Norman Doe Associates. Joel Teddy.
Alright, and well, hopefully the 30 is enough to cover if they have an increase, because it looks like it's gone up every year.
Yeah, they usually send us the number in advance, right? Didn't we change the?
Mary took care of it last year, and
Yeah, because they sent us the number.
then I took back
We
over.
changed the expendable trust to pay for it.
We tried to, yeah.
No, we did. That succeeded, but to make the selectmen the agents to expend failed.
Then, you know. then
So we'd have to do a warrant article at
every
town
year,
meeting
yeah.
to approve. But we could take that out if, the only problem is if they vote no, then it's out of the budget.
Yeah, I think we keep it in there for now, for at least until we get everything settled one way or another. We're into porta potties, which sounds about right. Anybody know the average cost of those a month?
Another day, another poop.
Basically. Printing and forms. Propane is going up. Fire extinguishers, that's the rechargeable ones that are down there, right?
Yep.
Alright. Scale license calibration. It's level funded. Safety equipment's going up. Scale testing and certification's going up.
Yep, which it's been certified the last few years. I don't know why it's not been paid.
Okay.
You know who does that?
Northeast scales. Northeast scale and certificates.
Alright. That's the new social security amounts, correct, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay. Shipping materials, that's an increase.
Yep.
Due to,
Shipping more frequently. More
and what is that, like boxes or?
pallets, baling wire, slip sheets,
Okay.
wrapping the plastic.
Alright, state retirement, level funding, unemployment, level funding, telephone basic rate. You guys have I think that at that rate is a,
That one's not a fully.
yeah, so it's a standard copper line. But you have internet down there.
Yes, but the phone line is tapped into.
Alarm systems.
Yep.
So those ones have to stay, but we really need to call on that because they just need a basic line, not three-way calling and all that extra crap at 70 some odd bucks a month. We need to work on that one. So I might task you on that one. If the other two approve, is figure out if there is a cheaper one for our basic rate. Because none of the phone lines need three-way calling or call forwarding or holds. It should just be a
Conversation.
hi, bye.
Are you open? Yeah.
Or even it should just be with the alarm goes off, or
Yeah.
whoever is supposed to get notified gets notified. Training, hiring, going up. Travel reimbursement, funding, tipping fees, staying basic, I'm guessing that's basically stays fairly comparable throughout the years, so. Trucking fee going up $250. Waste and recycling going up. What is that?
So that's like all the plastic,
Okay.
and then the C&D.
Okay. And then workers' comp is based off of the salary, so.
What was waste recycling?
It's for like the plastic and the C&D. So you get charged for the C&D.
That's a fee for the C&D?
That's part of.
Or that's cool? I thought we were getting paid for plastic.
No, I haven't been paid, it's been a while for that. The Chinese.
That's what they were claiming last year.
I've never seen revenue intake on it.
That's what I was under
So
the
you're
impression.
talking, the plastic is more the ones that are non-recyclable, like the milk jugs and things like that, right?
No, because that would go right in the compactor.
Those
Right.
go right in the compactor, but the ones that we do recycle get made into bales and then we ship them over to Swansea.
Okay, so the plastic for this one, that's what I'm trying to figure out, which type of plastic is it?
It's number one plastic and number two, so clear and opaque.
So we don't make money on that one.
I mean, just real stupid question. I mean, like, why are we bailing it then? Why are we trucking it to Swansea? I just like, I'm trying to, like, you know, Dick, and Curtis knows that, I mean, like, I did months worth of research on this. And I was under the impression that we were getting paid for our plastic, and that's why we were bailing this. And Ed fought me tooth and nail on this, but, like, and I go by Quarry Road, like you all know, on numerous occasions.
Twice a day.
More than that, you know, so, I mean, we're bailing plastic, that's time, energy, and clearly we're getting another baler now, and then we're trucking it to another town, which, and I'm assuming it's going to that town because they're getting paid for it. Because
I don't know, I've never
I
seen
would-
revenue intake or anything.
well, I guess I'll be submitting another 91 then, because this is, I was under the impression that Justin had told me that you guys were getting paid for the plastic, and that's why it was being bailed, and I
Can
mean-
you find out?
Yeah, we can try and get ahold of Josh tomorrow.
That'd be a good
I mean, they're clearly putting it in a container, when they ship a whole load of it,
It's going to the
they're
town.
getting paid,
It's going right to the town?
Going right to Swansea.
right to the recycling
Well, they're
center.
doing something with it.
Yeah,
It's
they're
going to the
they're
town.
putting it in a trailer and they're putting it in a trailer and getting paid for it.
Yeah, they're getting the tonnage on it.
They're getting a tonnage on it.
That's what it sounds like, at least.
I mean, plastic, I mean, I just, like, the city of Keene takes all recyclables for free. So if we're gonna truck it, then we might as well just truck it to the city of Keene and dump it in the refuge bin up there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, this was my point 4 years ago when, you know, before John came. Like, that landfill can be run better. Out of all that research that I did to that, there's only one thing that's been done down there, and that was a steel dumpster was put in there. And I mean, it's still not how I would do it, but
It's
I think it's
getting
effective.
Do you
It's
still have
getting
all the,
better.
do you still have all the stuff you did?
Oh, I do, but I can redo, I mean, it doesn't matter now, I mean, everything's changed from, as
You
far
haven't
as,
seen it, so. Unless
you know.
have,
You should have a copy of it. I mean, it wasn't like a secret, we had
Yeah.
a discussion.
Yeah, so if you can look into that, John, fair, if we actually do get money from it, or if they're just charging us to get double.
well, we really need to, I mean, and if John wants, I'll get together, we can get, that facility really should be run just as a commingle and be done with it. It would save everybody's labor issues.
The new one is, or the one that has all the updated stuff is in your binder, which ends up being 195, 524.
What was it?
So I move that we approve the, transfer station budget as submitted for 190, what was it?
195, 524.
195, 524.
I'll second it. But for the discussion, do we wanna talk about, electronic payments down there?
So let's get this done, that's a separate thing, isn't it?
Well, is that gonna go into that budget, or how, if we accept it, I mean, personally, I think this is, we're starting to see more revenue down there, because we're actually charging
Yeah,
people.
well, funny
which
how that works.
There's all sorts of craziness, people don't like it, but we're actually charging people, we're actually getting more revenue in there, and it's coming through. There's been a
Yeah,
big bump up.
Ben looked the numbers up last night, and there's since August, you can see a substantial increase in the revenue.
Yeah, we went from averaging 2,500, I think, to 7,000.
Yeah,
A month,
A
yeah.
month, yeah, sorry, yes, yeah.
so, and I think we could do better, I do agree. So,
Yeah, we're below historical numbers.
yeah,
In the process of, and then it's the same vendor that's doing the tax payments?
I don't think, I think that for tonight's, I think it's a good idea, and I think we can implement it sometime next year when we have some of these other issues ironed out. It's not gonna be a major expense.
well, it's a monthly fee on top of it, and I'm just wondering, where does that monthly fee go into?
What's the monthly fee?
So
Uh,
75 a month and 50 that's for the reader.
Yeah.
And the 25 is
For
the-
each location?
Well, no, the currently the tax collector is $90 a month with the card reader, the water and sewer being set up currently, no cost to town, no card reader, $0 a month for the water and sewer. Because I'm assuming it's just being the town clerks, but the transfer station would be $75 a month with the card reader
So we're talking 900 bucks
for
a year.
for a fee, yeah. So are we gonna be able to recoup that with the charges, or are we losing $900 implementing this out of the revenue stream? That's just my concern.
Cost of doing business, yeah.
Well, we're not, I think it's not in this, I think we can explore that when we come to make that decision. We're not doing that tonight.
Okay.
What's your annualized budget for this year gonna be, approximately? Like, what's the year-to-date budget right now?
133.
And what's the, what was the proposed budget for 2024?
166.
Okay, so, like on this year, for instance, if we have a spending trend as we do for this year, it seems that 2025 will certainly have the $900, should you decide to do it like right in the middle of the year, and you should have enough to cover it.
Yeah.
Looks like the budget's got enough room in it.
Alright.
So, my motion was to approve the budget as submitted.
Yeah, and we were in discussion, please. Any further discussion? Alright, all those in favor?
Alright,
Alright.
But you're on board with that, right?
He's like, wait, what?
Less money, less checks.
Well, and that one, I mean, in the end, it can save, but at the same time, it can back up a little bit of line, but, I mean.
Well, I think having the card reader is a great idea, honestly. It's helped out tremendously in every department that's jumped on board with it. I mean,
well, I
and
think,
it's direct, it's easier tracking too with the treasurer. I think Adam's here
I
anymore.
think with you guys at the water board, I think you'll find people really like to pay their water bills.
No.
Yeah,
So just we have a card reader at the store, our store, but like, I think it'd help keep things a little more
Organized.
you know, because if somebody comes in with C&D, you know, construction debris, you know, it's $20, then you know.
Yeah.
Then we can say, okay, we've taken in $10,000 and we spent 15, so we know we gotta fix that.
Right.
And I think there's a big, from my research on this a few years ago, there was a big problem there. Because they were taking white goods and putting it in the C&D, so it always looked like the C&D was doing this great thing of, but it wasn't, because they have to discharge all the washers, I mean, all the refrigerators and freezers.
Next.
Next is the highway budget.
What do you think?
I have comments. I think it's simpler than you. I think it's simpler than that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
So, there's a big portion of this is changes in compensation, and the budget committee tentatively approved it last night, subject to working out the compensation. So, I think for our purposes, what I would like to do this evening, because I don't want to have a compensation conversation that's very specific right now. I think that really does belong in non-public, as these are employees with reviews. And so what I'd like to do is go through the non-payroll issues.
So skip the first four.
Skip the first four, and I think we can hopefully come to agreement on all of those. And then we can schedule a meeting with John in non-public and go over the payroll discussion. I think that's the only fair way to do that. Does that make sense to you?
So you wanna deal with that after we talk about the rest of the stuff tonight?
No. I don't know that we have the time to do that tonight.
No, it doesn't have to be a long discussion.
Okay.
It can be short and sweet.
Okay. But anyway, I think we should go through all of the stuff that we can go through.
Alright, so we're starting at 200, 43.12.
200, yeah, advertising.
Advertising going down. Vehicle insurance, I'm gonna ask you again, Jeremy, that's right, vehicle insurance for all 3 trucks they have? Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I'm on yours.
You're using yours, and that's what, 4B?
4B2. Let's see. Building maintenance going up. Care to elaborate?
As you know, the building hasn't been very well maintained since it was built. We have some major repairs that we gotta do. We need paint, fascias, new trim around the doors.
Yeah, you could spend $8,000 down there easy.
Yeah, and
Aren't
that's,
you gonna build some bins, or is that a different project?
so that's part of construction materials.
Oh, okay.
Man, Dave, you're jumping ahead on us.
Sorry, I've already seen the movie.
Alright, so catch basin cleaning's going up. We have nothing this year. We're waiting a bill.
Nope.
Alright.
Cost. Ben just left, but we had this discussion last night. It's $250 an hour for an 8-hour minimum. The 1,800 would cover it, but there's also expenses that come with it to get them out here.
Okay.
You're basically just renting the truck and the employee for $250 an hour.
Alright, chainsaw and supplies, going up with that one, but your actuals are up, so that's kind of self-explanatory. Cleaning supplies, same thing. Clothing allowance. Going up on that, but you guys need, steel toe boots and things like that.
Steel toe boots, shirts for the employees.
Did you have a question, Chris?
No,
If we do, chime in. Cold patch going up, $250 to 1,000.
Yep.
Computer software,
Typical trend.
yeah, typical trend going up, a couple of bucks every year. This year's is 2766. Is that one go up, Jeremy, that you know of?
I looked at his number earlier. It's accurate.
Okay.
He doesn't have a lot of, he doesn't have nearly as many computers as we do,
Aw.
obviously.
Computer supplies, reducing that. Construction material, that's one you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Cold,
That's also for lumber to build, new basin covers. Basically, trying to cut down more on buying the pre-made stuff when we can just make it in-house.
alright, culverts, going up.
Yep.
Dam fees, maintenance and repair, definitely took a nice spike.
Yep.
Wanna elaborate that one for us?
So there again, that's another state thing with the dams. They have to be mowed 50 feet on either side of the dam and around the perimeter of it. And there's some dams that need to be mowed back more. There's repairs that are gonna require an excavator to get in there, filling holes. We have to rebuild some of the ramps to get in, so we can get in there and actually mow the dams.
Okay.
Concrete work, gates need to be operable, so we have to get in there, clean them, fix them, rebuild them, whatever we gotta do.
Alright, and Jeremy, all the insurances are up to date. Why does this one have dental broken out? Do they? Oh, for some not sure. Okay. Drum oil and grease decrease.
Yep.
Level funding dues, membership subscriptions, electricity going up.
Yep.
Equipment purchases going up. Care to elaborate?
So that one's just old equipment. We're gonna need new chainsaws at some point. I know some of ours are getting old. I can't think of the other thing we're gonna get right now.
Cat going up.
Full remodel. Pins, bushings, piston seals, bodywork, lights. Everything needs to be revamped, and it's almost 30 years old.
Alright. Repair on the backhoe, level funding.
Yep. Tentative, what happens with town meeting and the warrant article.
Alright, roller trailer, reducing that to 0.
Yep. And that machine is obsolete for us. It was bought back when they were gonna do the sidewalks on Route 12. The state ended up coming in and doing it, and the roller never got used after that.
Okay, so you're saying the sidewalks. Just a question, sidewalks on like School Street and things like that.
Yeah.
When, would you guys end up doing that or would you hire that out?
We would hire that out.
Doesn't make sense to you, right?
so that, I don't know if you talked about the roller and everything, I'd say it was up for bid, or out, somebody wants to buy it.
Is it worth it?
I got a couple people interested in trading materials for it, so.
I mean, you guys agree, if we're not using it, just a piece of equipment, we're sitting around, no reason to have it on hand, as they just.
Either put it out to bid or if you've got people offering, come with a proposal to us and we'll.
Or a silent bid or something like that.
Yeah.
Let us know your options, what you got, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Let's see, chipper.
Yep.
Didn't McClure's come out and fix that? That's all good now, right?
Yeah, that actually only cost us $32 to fix.
Nice.
it's just a nice.
And it was McClure's that fixed it?
Yeah, it was one of the guys that works for McClure's.
Sweet.
That's gonna get a full revamp again. That chipper's from 1988, so there's no safety features on it, other than the forward, reverse, and stop bar. If you look at the new chippers, they have cables that run from the stop bar down in through the mouth, to the hood. I'd like to put a set of those on, and I want to buy a winch for it, so we're not carrying heavy ass logs. And then putting hydraulic in-feed rollers on it, so we can get in there and actually maintain the anvil and the knives.
Sweeper going down to a dollar.
Yep.
You made it or no?
Yeah.
Just don't expect any repairs needed on it.
No, we did everything this year to it that we needed to.
Alright, sand spreader, level funding.
Yep.
Is that current actual year-to-date correct, or is that gonna go up?
No, that's going up. We'll be right about 2,000 by the end of the week.
Okay. General supplies going up 250. What falls under your general supplies for you guys?
We have gloves that we use for oil changes. We do have, we use the lubricant for the air compressor. And there's, I don't know, general supplies, other than.
Alright. Hardware, nuts and bolts. That's to replenish your stock of nuts and bolts.
Yep, of everything that we use constantly.
Couple of screws in there now.
Yep.
That's the updated health insurance term?
Well, that's based off of
Is that based off of salaries for everyone? Or is that how many people are on it?
Yeah,
that's how many, so it jumped up 13.
well, somebody's going from what, buyout to family plan? Family plan's like
Oh,
37,000.
I wish that one was based on pay. Alright,
Yeah, right.
heating oil, you're going up. Burner service, you're reducing.
Yep, we just got the bill for that, it's been paid.
Okay, perfect. I was
That
gonna
was
ask about a bill.
$290.
Okay. Hot mix going down.
Yep.
Ice control sand going down.
Yep.
Ice control salt level funding. Are we missing some from this year?
Yeah, there's a big chunk missing from this year.
Okay, we'll have to find that one too. Calcium chloride.
Yep, that's spent, I just got a pallet.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, because it looks like it's, we budget for it, but we don't use it as much.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna start using the sand calcium mix instead of the sand salt. So the calcium is easier on, the calcium I got is easier on the concrete than salt,
Alright.
and it's pet friendly.
Oh, that's good. Keep all those pet walkers happy. Labor contracted services.
Yep. Roadside mowing.
Okay. Let's see. Line striping. Going down.
Yep. Just based on historical figures.
We got some lines that need to be done on the common, mainly in front of like the deli, my store.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up actually.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up too, but
Parking lines.
So I mean,
those are the striping on the common are out, according to the state, those are ours,
Right.
but I wouldn't do it now.
Why not?
right,
Go out there with white spray paint, just do the lines. Last Thursday.
but it's becoming a problem, cause they're parking broadside in front of everybody's store.
Yeah.
You know,
I
my
noticed-
store,
I
the
noticed
Cozy
that.
Cottage, and Lisa did call the state, which then, turned into a phone call to Dick,
Right, cause it's a town's issue.
it's a town's issue, so.
So we do all the striping all along.
Correct. And you'll notice that the pavement is a different color.
Right, I did notice that.
Yeah, and that's why, that's our pavement versus the state's.
So Dan, you got a task. Go out there with spray paint, white spray paint, just paint it real quick, at least for the season. Because it's gonna get scraped up, unfortunately.
Well, they haven't been, I mean, I guess I gotta disagree with that, because, I mean, we don't do it every year. Them lines haven't been painted in 10 years, and now they're just getting to the point where they're so dull. I mean, I think. Well, I just like, he's going down on his line item here, and I mean, I appreciate him, you know, trying to nip some fat off here, but like at some point we need to, I don't want Johnny to turn into a problem like we have down on the end of Dorch Street, like, you know what I mean? Neglecting to do things because just save $5.
Right. So, how much do you think it'd cost to get those done?
1,700 is fine.
Yeah.
I can get it done for that.
No, I can't see your number, so I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, sorry.
Alright. Liabilities, right. And so those properties, so the insurances are good, okay. Office supplies going up, that's gonna be like your printer ink and
Printer ink, paper, getting binders to organize the office up there, cause everything was a mess when I got here, and it's still a mess, cause you can't find half of anything down there.
Alright, then you've got pest control.
Yep.
You're going up to what your actual, or close to what your actual is this year?
Yep.
Makes sense. Radio, radar, electronics.
Yep. New radios, and the trucks, and the equipment. The new truck comes with budgeted for it. I did that one,
Okay. So far, any questions from you guys? I know Dick, you've already seen it, so you're just like, you're the head boy right now. You got everything. Alright, fire extinguishers is gonna be enough to recharge all yours? Or
Yep, we got a couple
replace?
we gotta replace, so I suspect it's gonna be up around $400.
Okay. Safety equipment going up on that, that's your,
Cones, roadwork signs, high visibility, safety clothes, hard hats, ear protection, safety glasses, gloves.
so you're gonna be the village people out there?
Yep.
Sand and gravel going up, that is for, what type of sand and gravel?
We're building bins to organize where people can dump stuff and what we have for materials on hand. And there is something missing in there, cause that should be right up around 1,500.
Okay, so this year's is missing something?
Yep.
Okay. We'll skip the next line, I'll follow through the top stuff. Small tools, you're going at $250.
Yep. I'd like to get more battery powered tools. So if we're out on the road and we have a breakdown, we don't have to run back to the shop and try and find tools. We have battery operated stuff right there.
Alright. Let's see, snowplow parts and repair.
Yep. 20-year-old plows falling apart, worn out.
Alright, and skip the next one, go to stones for roads.
Yep. That's basically for, a lot of it's for mud season, and then, culvert pipe, bed pipe with.
Alright, sweeping, you're going down.
Yep.
Do you have a basic telephone rate down there?
Yep.
That's the VoIP price, right? Okay. That's what I'd like to see everywhere who can have it. Cellular's going up.
Yep.
Training, hiring, testing, increasing that line.
Yep. More classes for, the world of highways and getting Ian onto the same page as what Gary and I are getting onto. Gary has the most knowledge down there. It's just getting onto the state side of things.
Okay. Tree work. Have we had any work done this year?
We are about to,
Okay, so we expect a bill this year.
yep, 25.
Alright, and then so you're increasing it up, got more tree work you wanna get done?
Yep, more trouble trees, dead wood hanging, low hanging branches that the excavator won't be able to reach, opening things back up, to help the sunlight hit the roads.
Alright. Diesel level funding, increasing gasoline though, cause the new truck is gasoline.
Yep.
Okay. Trackless increasing a little bit on that one.
Yep.
It's at 16, so it's 10 years old, or 8 years old.
9 next year. We gotta replace some stuff on it, we got new hoses, some new lines. We got a couple other things we gotta do to it.
Okay, then you got the 12 F1 or F350.
Yep.
Level funding that, level funding the 16,550. Water and sewer taking an increase on that one. Welding supplies taking an increase on that. Workers' comp is based on salaries, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one will adjust. And then workshops, your level funding flat.
Have you guys been in any workshops?
Yeah. We've been to 2 of them, and I actually had to get a hold of the woman from UNH to resend the invoice, even though it was signed, so I could re-sign it and resubmit it.
Didn't the town, jump over to the community tower as well?
We're gonna be, we haven't yet, but
We're still on contract.
till,
The
January.
first one should be water and sewer, right?
Yep, it expires this month actually.
So theirs will be the first to jump onto the thing. We'd see how big of a savings it has.
Just everybody that's going through with a higher rate or higher,
Right.
more higher
Yeah.
for electricity, but it should be going down.
Yeah,
I'm hearing some people are very happy with the community tower.
it's good.
I haven't gotten my bill with the comment yet.
It's going up a little bit January 1, but not a lot.
I know,
It's still way lower than.
I know Joyce Moore made a comment, she wanted to say that, good job bringing that in, allowing it to come in or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're gonna fight the battle. It was a fun one to, spend hours on the thing.
So do we wanna tentatively approve everything except for, or do we wanna wait?
I think certainly let's tentatively approve everything except for the first 4 items. But let's approve it subject to for everything but the first 4 items. I move that we approve everything from line 4312-200 down.
Except the items that are affected by it.
Well, that's the items above that.
No, there's other items affected by that.
State
Oh, and then maybe it's better to just,
Wait.
let's just wait, it's less complicated.
I mean, he's got 100, well, we have some pending invoices, but according to this, he's got $100,000 left, so. Last night you talked about getting caught up with stuff, so my question would be, and I don't expect an answer, but is there anything we can purchase this year before the end of the year to?
Honestly, I would wait until we get some of these invoices cleared, because
Yeah, we got,
it should only be
Yeah, just
like
food for
20.
thought.
right, if we've got invoices that need to be paid, let's get them paid. And if there's money that needs to be sequestered, let's sequester it, and then see where you are. Yeah.
That way we're not sitting on,
Right,
because then we're back to the taxpayers.
well, right, we've budgeted the money, and if we have the
Surpluses are nice,
supposed to do.
I know on the
Well,
current
only if
one,
it's not, only if it's real, not if it's just because we didn't pay a bill.
Yeah, that's the one.
That is actually the worst possible scenario.
So when do you wanna handle the top 4?
We got a bunch of people waiting here.
Yeah, let's knock out everything else real quick, it's just a couple of building permits.
Okay, so we will table this for a few minutes.
Sorry, Jenny, you gonna hang around a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
the additional permit, I just didn't find a copy.
Oh, the giant box.
Yeah, that came in today. That's not. No copy.
Okay.
That's the solar.
That's the usual stuff.
So make sure you don't forget it.
I can't remember if those actually, because they pertain to one specifically or not.
Oh, no, they're tax liens, I don't think they're non-public, because you're not approving them.
That's not as a, is that a lien? I thought it was a supplemental tax.
Oh, it's a tax lien.
Alright.
This is what the justification would be for non-public.
Okay. Then that's what we're starting with.
Debbie Wilson brought up a good point, last night at the budget meeting, she, $1 in the chip, roller and trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What item, what line are we on?
I think it was sweeper, John.
No,
I think it was a sweeper, John, wasn't it?
yes,
You
it
had
was.
zero in the sweeper.
Yep.
The roller
Yeah,
and trailer,
yeah,
you're done,
right,
you're getting rid of that.
Yep,
Yeah.
337.
Oh, there's a
She's
dollar
sweeper.
more.
The,
Sweeper has a
the
dollar.
version we got from Jeremy, there's $1 in it.
I got you, John.
Okay, so we've got,
5G,
no, we're starting with
4G.
4E for these guys.
Okay. Let me get that.
Let's see.
I'll make a motion. I make a motion to adopt, tax collectors property tax supplemental warrant. Map 18, lot 179, the amount of 28, I'm gonna do all these as one motion. $2,810.32. Tax collectors, property tax supplemental warrant, map 18, lot 179, in the amount of $4,161.29. Tax collectors, property tax supplemental warrant, map 18, lot 179, in the amount of $4,331. Sewer right here.
Just as on the other side, so the town has 20.76% left.
That's what I'm reading.
And then,
But
would
we
you like to know
haven't
your
paid
guys'
the,
currently?
we haven't paid the county.
What's that?
Would you like to know your guys' currently?
I think we just seen it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
You can, I mean, you can tell, so everybody else knows if
We're
you'd like.
18.8%, so
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Percent.
whatever bills you have coming.
So yeah, we haven't paid the county tax bill yet, but that's,
So, Jeremy, where are we with the TAN bill?
Emailed her and left her a message today. I'll call her again tomorrow.
you're probably not gonna get anybody.
Well, they're in, but
I know she needed the letter from Joe, but Joe came back and immediately replied to her and said he'll take care of that.
did he send a letter?
I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I'll check again tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I'd hear back.
Well, we have, what do we have, 20 days?
Let's do.
County's due the 17th.
Yeah, so,
Okay, so you got 3 weeks.
yeah.
This week's over tomorrow.
Yep.
Great.
My goal is to set the tax rate at our next meeting.
We're on to the building permits?
Yep.
Alright, so we have, map 5, lot 2, Courtney Davis, It's a one-bedroom, 16 by 30 cabin. There, but previously a fee was paid, but it didn't include the kitchen and the bathroom and an electrical meter. So there should be an additional fee paid. That's what I'm reading here.
Yeah. Didn't say what was paid before, did it?
Just the $97. Which
That permit was expired when the building inspector issued me a cease and desist. So just to give you a recap on what happened is we moved the building from the Lawrence farm
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
I was back in here
Yeah.
a few weeks later stating it was gonna be a cabin.
Right.
TJ told me just to write a letter to Mary stating that it's really gonna be a cabin. That was done. And then, you know, we continued on, and then the permit expired.
So,
And then I was issued, and then when the electrical meter was, then in the middle of all that, we got a building inspector, so I had called down here and spoke with Jeremy. You know, do I need an inspection for the electrical, or do I not? So Mike reached out to me, he showed up, I kinda gave him a rundown what was going on. He then issued a cease and desist.
I think the only thing I see is we're just missing part of the fees.
Well, so, right, but it needs to be renewed anyways, and I don't know if we're gonna call it a new building permit, or are we calling this a renewal? And so the check is here.
The extension fee for any open permit is $50, so you'd pay that.
And then are you putting a bathroom and a kitchen?
The check is here though, what I'm saying is there's a check here that was not, we didn't put a dollar amount in it, cause.
We didn't figure out the dollar.
We don't know, right, like, we don't know, like, we don't.
Oh.
Okay, so
Like, I was very confused because Mike in the cease and desist had like ran off like these 10 different items that I needed.
Well,
that I could not find in the building
They're not necessarily
permit.
related to your fee.
I know, but
So you
he
paid.
said I wasn't gonna get a building permit because I didn't have a septic design.
No, you can't occupy it with a
That's the way
How could you
that's
build it?
definitely the way I understood it.
So you've paid, the $96 you paid was for basically the building of the size of the building. Previous.
Over a year ago,
Yeah,
yes.
you've already paid that. So
Right.
what we're looking here is, are you gonna add a bathroom? Is there gonna be a
There's a
kitchen?
bathroom and a kitchen in it, yes.
So then, those are each a fee of, what am I looking at here?
See, it was that whole process is pretty
Okay,
confusing.
it's $50
Well, if he
fee
extends it, or do we
extension,
do a new one? So that's where.
$50 for the.
I prefer a new permit.
This one,
Oh,
Well, this is,
Well, yeah, he lapsed past even the 30-day threshold, so it would be a new permit for this.
well, I mean,
Okay.
this is a,
It's
this is a.
saving you money because it's a new permit.
It'd be a $5, I'm not, you know, I'm not worried about that.
Because, so we.
It's the extension thing that, this is a 10-year plan, so, you know what I mean, this is only something for the guys to do when we're not
sure,
working.
I get it.
So, if I gain a year by paying an extra $20, then that's what I wanna do,
Is there an electrical meter on it?
yeah.
Okay, so so far we've got three $50 fees so far, is what I've totaled up. Kitchen is one, the bath is one, and electrical meter. Or no, it's an additional, but a new one, do we charge for a new one?
A new what?
Electrical meter?
Yes.
See, that's where this is very confusing, because new construction, right,
Additional
like a new
electric
construction,
Does not include replacement or upgrade of existing meters or conversion from single phase to three phase. So if it's a new meter, you should be charged $50.
so to clarify this, so if I build a new house,
You pay $50 for the electric.
I pay 20 cents a square foot,
Correct.
and then I pay $50 per bathroom, and $50 for a kitchen, and then $50 for an electric meter?
Correct.
Is that how you guys pay for them?
No, that's not how we've been charged. We pay per square foot.
That's the way I've always understood it, like if it's new construction, it's 20 cents a square
The
foot.
bathroom and those are for renovations, so if you're.
Right, you're right,
yeah,
that's how we
so
did it,
new
right.
construction is.
Right.
on
So
square
if you
foot
have
basis.
if you have a two-family house and it's only got one meter on it, because you're paying the electric, and then you split it out to have 2 meters, then you're gonna pay the $50 for the extra meter.
Yeah, that's all for renovation stuff
Right,
on an
right,
existing
he's right.
structure.
So if we're looking at this,
New construction.
with this being an expired permit, and it's past our renewal time,
So he just wants a new permit for 20 cents a square foot.
Well, it's not down to, let's just, I wanna be clear about what we're doing, I don't care about dollars and cents.
No,
so then it'd be $96.
then $96.
And so Sarah has a check.
Okay. So, I
So
move that
the-
we approve the building permit for lot 5, map 2, map 5, lot 2, as submitted, subject to receipt of the $96.
I'll
Which
second.
she's got, so, no problem.
Alright.
But you're gonna have to come in and fill out that check though, Dave.
Sorry,
Can you please come in and fill out the check for Sarah,
it's all filled out.
for the amount and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I gotta pick it up then anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So you needed $96.
I borrowed from Jeremy.
I gave you Adam's check earlier, you're good.
Can I
Alright,
just
number-
sign this?
This is the old, we got the old one in here. Okay.
Yeah, so you can skip through that, that's just.
Yeah, we don't need that.
The next one is,
200 amp service replacing existing.
so the replacement of an existing
No
service.
fee. Right, the electric company license. So I move that we approve the building permit application, map 13, lot 29, to install a new 200 amp service. The existing service.
I'll second.
Any further discussions? No further discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
This.
This one is not unusual stuff.
Plumbing.
Oh, line PVC drain lines and PEX water lines to new bathroom, kitchen, laundry, water heater for new apartment over garage.
So what he's actually doing is he's building an apartment over his garage. So it's a renovation.
Did he pay any fees for the owner?
Where was that? He's in the water district, I don't care about
No,
it.
it's 140 Tolman Road.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out what map.
well, I was daydreaming.
We've definitely had something from them, I just.
But we have an application,
Let's see.
we need the square footage, we don't have the square footage on here.
Yeah, and then they're adding a new kitchen, a new bathroom. So
We
yeah,
got that, we need, it's not really clear what he's doing. So can we table this and get more information from him?
I agree.
Yeah.
Down on this, on these, we table to get more information.
We have a demolition permit.
There's a note on the back that says this is a third request. There's a note on the back that says this is a third request to be paid for. You should ask the contractor.
Does that property have a clean bill of health? Has that been tested? I mean, they're supposed to be tested before you guys issue
That's his
demo.
problem.
It's your problem.
No problem.
You know, I'd have to beg to differ.
Right here, owner's responsibility, notify the EPA of asbestos.
Yeah, I know I know what that says,
Yeah.
but I know the state requires differently.
I've had a very,
Oh, I know you have, but I would think you'd be very well educated.
he's well advised.
I bid on that job, and that's why that's the only reason why I'm familiar with the project, so that's why I'm
Well,
asking.
maybe we ought to ask him before we approve this, maybe we ought to ask him where he's at with testing. But then are we gonna do that on all of the properties? I'm asking a question. I'm not sure that the town has responsibility for other people's bad decisions.
Maybe we table this until we figure out if we actually do or not.
Yeah, that would be.
So we'll table this one as well for now.
And he's apparently not in a hurry, he says this is the third time he's applying for a permit, so.
Did he pay all the other times?
Yeah, that's what he says, it's on the last page of his application.
I'll find those other ones. So it's,
Oh, this came in like today or something?
yeah.
All back to contractors.
Yeah. Maybe the contractors didn't wanna deal with it, whatever's there. So, this is installation of roof mounted photovoltaic solar panel system, 5.76 CWAC, 16 panels, 1 inverter, no battery, at 55 School Street, map 18, lot 152.
So we don't have this.
No
one, so
fee is
it's
charged
one.
on that.
This came in late or whatever, so. Solar system on School Street.
Correct, it's the last house on the end, and I think you'll find it's a 3-acre lot.
On the left side?
On the right-hand side across the, if you go past the school,
Past school down that
it's the
way.
last house on the right. It sits, the lot is like this, and the house sits here.
Okay, so they're doing a roof mounted system.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it says. I move that we approve the application as submitted.
I'll second it.
Alright, any further discussion? Alright, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, got through all those, old business permit intake process we already covered. We've got the recent,
Review these manifests.
yep,
I move that we approve the payroll for 11/18 in the amount of $21,681.77. Payroll on November 25th in the amount of $118,886.38. Payroll on 12/2, dated 12/2 in the amount of $29,227.83, and I assume that includes the stipends, that's why it's that amount.
The last one.
The last one, yeah.
Yeah, forward the page.
All your big salaries.
alright, right, Bill, Corey?
Second?
Oh, second it?
Big
Just
salaries.
time for
You're
Christmas.
good.
Spend it all on
Any further
points.
discussion?
What
All those in favor?
Aye.
Couple gallons of
Something
gas.
like that up.
I move that we approve the accounts payable, check run dated 11/8, the amount of $200. Check run 11/14, amount of $8,224.86. Check run November 18th, amount of $199,929.92, that includes a school payment. Check run on dated 11/21, in the amount of $36,749.85. Check run dated 11/25 in the amount of $200. Check run dated 11/26 in the amount of $6,587.99.
I'll second.
Alright, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. I move that we approve the November 7th, 2024 Board of Selectmen meeting minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we approve the November 7th, 2024 Board of Selectmen non-public meeting minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll just start sneaking some words in there. See if you guys notice.
Alright, now do we want to jump to the fun ones, where we were going to go non-public again to discuss pay and such?
Dick, did you wanna talk about that warrant article
I
real quick?
do,
or-
yeah, that's probably a good, you got mine? So I have a proposal that I've been working on, and so I read it by Ben, because he's pretty good with the words. And so let me read it to you. So the proposed warrant article for the coming, this year, 2025 town meeting, to see if the town will vote to implement a procedure for receiving and either approving or disapproving requests for donations from non-governmental organizations that provide services to the residents of the town of Troy. If passed, the organizations requesting donations will be required to submit their requests no later than October 1st of each year for the following calendar year. The request must specify a specific dollar amount and a summary of the services provided to the town's residents, including the number of residents served, the total number of services provided, and the dollar value of the services provided to Troy residents. If approved, the donation would be for an amount up to but not more than the requested amount. No donation shall be approved for any organization unless the service it provides is required to be provided by the town in the absence of the services provided by the organization. And the idea behind this is we have at times had random requests at town meeting of why don't we give $500 to thus and so charity? Why don't we give $1,000 to thus and so charity? And so the concern is we do get requests as laid out here. They're very specific. I mean, whether you like it or not, the Helping Hand sends a very detailed request. We want $10,000. There's 22 people from Troy, and this is what we spend it on. Not the Helping Hand, I meant 100 Nights. So we don't always, but we have these other requests that come from nowhere, and they don't necessarily meet that. So this would eliminate that. If we don't have the request by October 1, it's not clear and specific as to the purpose and whether it's something that the town would otherwise be required to handle, we wouldn't hear it. That's my proposal.
My 2 cents before I boogie. So in reading that, it appears that there are already mechanisms in place to manage what it is you're talking about. So all but the last sentence of that is basically something you can adopt here as a select board, I would say. You adopt it as a part of your policies and procedures, and you can notify the people that typically submit requests for funding, and you outline exactly that. Town meeting, you don't need to have the approval from town meeting to do that. The last line, I believe, is subject to RSA anyway. So stating that anything that we donate to has to be for a service that we would otherwise be required to provide by state law. And then the third piece of it is any of those new things that show up at town meeting that aren't on the warrant at all, they really can't be introduced anyway. The only way to introduce something like that is through a petition warrant article.
Right, and that would have to come well before
the meeting. You can't bring those forward to the meeting anyway. They can adjust the various line items as the select board has already put into that warrant article that outlines the various people that you're looking to donate to.
Yep.
Raise or reduce however much they want.
Yep.
But I don't think they can introduce a brand new venue to donate money to at town meeting.
Would be out of order.
It would be out of order.
Just like John can't come next year and say, I want another truck if he didn't.
Right, exactly. You can't show up to town meeting with a backhoe and then, on the warrant and then say, oh, I'd like to change it to a truck.
Right.
Or I'd like to add a truck. Too late.
Too late.
Yeah. So I think all the mechanisms are in place to manage this problem already. And I don't think it's anything that you would have to adopt at
so it's really something it's something that we could do procedural. The missing piece is.
It would be part of your rules of procedure, so to speak, for the select board. Yep.
Do we need to have a public hearing on it? Or no?
I don't think so. I think you can adopt, selectmen ordinances. I think you can adopt rules of procedure that are specific to the Board of Selectmen's office without any of that. So.
And then we can make a public notice, and then next year after town meeting, or middle of the year or whatever, we should send a notice to all of the usual suspects saying, you are thinking you want money from the town of Troy, and certainly the people that we do donate money to, if you're thinking about money from the town of Troy, this is what we need from you going forward.
Yep, that's how I do it. Yep.
I agree with you. I think that's a better thing.
Yep. Yeah, and if it's an anticipated issue at the meeting. It would be talk with the moderator and let them know that you're expecting that and what you
Right.
believe the RSA's allow,
Right.
the meeting to do and not do.
Right. Thank you, that
Yeah.
was helpful.
Of course.
I have to go.
Yeah.
We really should have just allowed that.
After that, geez.
No.
Thanks for moderating.
Well, we,
They're going public.
none of us, yeah, none of us knew.
No, well, I mean, it always feels, you feel like you're being mean, you know?
Right.
All right,
Makes sense though. Feel like the big picture.
right, I think it's a policies and procedures thing.
Do you wanna
Oh,
finish out
awesome,
board
thanks.
correspondence,
I was looking
administrative
forward
report, and then do closeout, and then. Yeah, afterwards, we don't have to come, well, we have to come back in and non-public, we just said.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Do you wanna first make some motions for me?
What?
Appointments.
Oh,
Here, Curtis, I'll start with this. I accidentally signed
I
this one, so-
move that we appoint Aaron George as an alternate to the alternate planning board member.
Do you want to assume as a group?
Hmm?
And just read through the name and then what?
I did.
I'll second. As I say, as a group, so we don't have to go one at a time.
Oh, you want to read them all? Okay.
Yeah, go all five.
All right, this is the same form. And Aaron George of 9 Bigelow Hill Road, alternate planning board member. Aaron George of 9 Bigelow Hill, alternate planning board member.
Someone wrote it twice.
It's probably two of each.
yeah,
I move that we appoint Alan Purrington of 55 South Main Street to the Budget Committee. I move that we appoint Kim Cassidy of 407 Monadnock Street as an alternate to the Planning Board. And that's a different.
So the planning board's one time to do
There's
this.
three, yeah.
Okay.
That's a doozy.
All right. Any further discussion on those three? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. So
And there's a copy for him and a copy for them.
maybe.
so they just need to come in and get sworn in now?
That's what it's got, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's actually been. They've signed them and sworn in already. It was just our signature that needed in.
Oh, nice, okay.
All right. So
I had a
then.
question, if they're an alternate, does that mean, in the case that someone else leaves, they take their position on the planning board?
So how that works is that if there is a member missing for that meeting, they can be appointed for that meeting to be an active member, so they'll have the actual 7 votes. And then when the other members come back, then they'll go back as an alternate.
Okay.
So if somebody does leave, like, Richie Paxton, he left, that position's been vacant almost for the rest of this last year. So we were trying to push, I was specifically trying to push to get somebody on it because I think we need different, perspectives
Mm-hmm.
sitting on that board, and leaving that position empty for a year is, we're not doing our due diligence.
Well, if we have 6, you have time pretty easily.
Right, well, I just think that we needed to fill it. I honestly didn't care who was in there.
Yeah.
There's people that I don't agree with on the board, there's people I agree with on the board, we don't have to agree, we can have a conversation, but the conversation needs to move forward and not get stale. That's my only thing, so.
Yeah, thanks.
I believe the planning board's the only one that can have alternates.
No.
ZBA. Oh, sorry, ZBA as
is.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think.
I think they, I don't know about the budget committee.
I don't think so.
No. I know, and the problem on the planning board was when Richard resigned, his mother was the alternate. She also resigned.
You gotta have 7 people, right? I mean, you really should.
Well, you can run it with only 3, but that's not
You have to have the majority, so you have to have 4 minimum.
4,
As a
on the planning board.
Yeah, you have to have 4 minimum to have a meeting.
Well, you'd have 3 members and a selectman. I would be very hesitant to make any life and death decisions with that configuration. I mean, if it's a conforming, real easy, sure, why not, but when did we ever have one of those?
That's true.
Right.
Administrative report, sir?
I was gonna mention the Jack's Rate Center, but I did that earlier, so.
Alright, personal task, can you get on checking about the phone services?
Yes. Look at that.
Please.
Blow that phone bill, man.
$70 a month is, that's a doozy. I mean, and when I looked at it, it was literally all of them were three-way calling and things like that.
We talked about it last night, and
We don't need, I'm sorry.
so Alan said at his own personal residence, he was told the same thing where, because Steve Obert called, it's one of Steve's things, and
Yeah.
he said if you switch to voice over IP, they can't guarantee the alarm will work properly, but
Right.
Alan said at his own house, the same situation, and they told him that, he said it works fine.
It's one of those things, they still need a copper line, but the price of the copper line, we don't need three-way calling, call
Right.
forwarding, call holding. It should just be, hello, goodbye.
Yeah, no, I get you on that. You know what a lot of these plans do though, is they
Make sure
throw they throw in, it's free,
Yeah,
you know,
Well, it's free for the first year.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they start charging you.
We throw it in for free, it's just something that we're.
Like I've noticed a lot of people switching to Spectrum. Premium.
And it's because it's lower price currently, but they don't understand in 2 years.
It's
Yeah.
not even,
Yeah.
Depends on your contract.
I like paying. I'm okay with paying $10 a month, you know.
I'm only paying it, I won't pay it.
A lot.
Nope.
No?
Uh-uh. Not at all.
Huh.
And I have Spectrum. Cause I had, the other one first. Who was that?
Video?
No, not Fidium, the other one in town.
Oh.
Argent, thank you.
Argent got bought out by
Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Yeah. I like the Argent people too, they were really nice. Had an issue, call them up, hey, how's it going, TJ? Oh, thank you know, and was very friendly, personable.
I may switch eventually.
Just do your due diligence, check your pricing, and go with what you think is best.
Curtis, you missed this one.
Finish your next one. Okay. Alright, so, non-public, 91A3.
Compensation of a public employee.
Yeah.
That is A, right?
Yeah.
So I'll entertain a motion to go into non-public under 91A3 2A.
So moved.
Second. Roll call vote. Dick.
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
TJ, yes.